Okay, so I believe that's all working-ish. So, welcome to session number 95, or Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 6. My brain is definitely with me today. I'm sure of it. It's just a little slower than normal. So, today online we have Sue.
Hello, I'm playing Imni. She's the ranger, and she's just coming into her, I guess, not into her abilities, but into believing in what she can do.
Which is a good thing.
In the past, she had a hero that she worshipped, and so all her attention, everything went to a hero who she just tried to emulate all the time. But now she's recognising that she needs to, she's sort of, her hand is forced. So now she needs to step up and recognise her own abilities on their own merits.
And be the hero that she always wished the other one was.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to M.
Hello. I play Zol, your ever-lovable clerical wizard with his menagerie of animals, which I think... what happened to Chocobo? Did he come through the portal? Because I'm pretty sure he was with us.
You didn't bring him through the portal. No one grabbed him.
Huh. Well, that's going to be interesting to come back to.
And no one grabbed your horse or your griffin, so both of them didn't come with you either.
You left most of the mounts at the tower with the nice guy. The nice guy tower, not the bad guy tower.
Yes. At least maybe, now my brain bloody
Yeah, because...
the dragon guy.
Drazzle?
Drazzle,
yeah.
That's it. Drazzle was also unfortunately left behind, so hopefully Chocobo is behaving himself with Horse and Drazzle.
Well, you don't think he will misbehave around Horse and Drazzle?
Salago.
But yes, we are here, we are in this hell with my name littered through the sky.
Isn't that as how things should be?
Apparently.
Well, hey, it's always nice when people sing your name out in praise. I was hoping I could actually just zoom in and see the characters clearly, but you know how tools always like to screw around with you? For some reason the settings change so it doesn't actually like my setup. Well, that's, yeah. No matter what I do, it seems to resize everything. Okay, so we also...
At least you've got it somewhat working though.
Yeah. Well, it used to be that I could just show the characters who were there at the time and not have ones that I've moved appear in two places at once. Let's see if I managed to at least make the one disappear, which is nice, but I don't think I can actually...
That works.
Yeah.
You can see everybody.
Problem was, names were hidden. I was trying to do it so you could actually see the names clearer.
Names, yeah. No, you
But
can't.
anything higher than that, and it gets rid of most of the details.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Technology does not necessarily make things easy.
Yeah, the zoom function didn't like that screen. Okay, so also online we have Josh if he's around.
He's not quite back yet.
In which case we'll move over to Ariadna.
I play Thala, Druid Tree Speaker, and Seasoned Fae. I would like to say storyteller extraordinaire, but mostly I'm a journaler. And most of my storytelling will hopefully be practiced in front of my tree, but that depends on whether or not we get out of this portal alive.
Well, you could also get out of the portal undead.
Well, that's true, but I don't know that my tree will, or my people will necessarily accept me as undead.
Well, that's okay. Just come back with one of those infectious sorts and make them all the same.
I don't want to be bitten by a ghoul. Is it a ghoul that does that?
Ghouls, vampires.
Oh, well, vampires aren't
spectres, shadows.
infectious though, are they?
Well, you can turn people into vampires with vampires.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright.
Liches aren't very good at turning other people into liches.
No, generally they want to be the only one in power. So.
Very true.
Yes, so I'd hopefully come out alive rather than undead.
And the characters have travelled through Karamikos, heading to what they believe to be an undead gateway that allows the various vampires and their armies to traverse the region undetected by everyone else. And thinking of it as a way to get into Galantry for the Alphatian armies, they were looking at trying to shut it down. Not that they know exactly where they are right now. All they know is it's not in their normal world anymore.
That's us. Yeah. So our goal is to figure out if this is being used by the Alphatian army, and if it's not, then we're okay with it.
No, you wanted to make sure the Alphatian army couldn't use it.
Right. Yeah.
Because if they did use it, then the war would probably end very quickly in a rather negative way.
Yeah. I thought I just said that, but obviously I got it mixed up. All good.
All good. So last we had it, you had gone to the chapel and had interacted with
Oh yeah, the chapel.
Interesting icon.
You got yourself 2 new things, Zal. What were the 2 things that you got?
I believe one was a mace.
No,
I think we left the mace because that was scary.
The mace seemed to be more curse than it was help. Although very interesting, not helpful. But you came back with like an idol and something else though. I thought.
No, I think it was just the idol. I went to
Okay.
get the mace, but then we figured out that was not.
Okay. Oh,
But I
sure.
believe one of the characters walked off with the mace.
No, we unless Cheval picked it up, but I'm pretty sure we all decided that it was better left behind. I considered taking it with me because I thought it might be useful in some situation or another.
And then we left the session with a cliffhanger of should you dismiss the circle of protection from good and evil from Zal, and what is Cheval doing climbing the stairs ahead of everyone else?
Do you remember where we were? We'd left the chapel.
Left the chapel and you were heading towards a big glowing crystal that was beating like a heart.
So we're going up a staircase.
A picture for you guys of a staircase. You're heading up in a tower towards a crystalline heart.
And so we're all together except for Cheval, who's how far ahead of us?
Probably a flight ahead of you.
Okay. And why were we thinking of taking off? Was there someone?
Because while you had cast the circle of protection from evil and good on Zal wasn't hearing the beating of the heart.
Right.
Or the organ music.
Right. But we can still hear it, so that's okay, right?
The rest of you were hearing it, but you didn't have the circle of protection cast on you.
Yeah, well, I can't remember why I cast it on her.
Because you were worried about influence. And something, because something can't mentally influence someone with a circle of protection on them.
Okay. And were we worried about the Fae creature for some reason?
You were.
Did she hear a name called?
I believe he'd heard his name being called.
He heard his name called, and so that's one of the reasons. Well, I guess it's up to Zal whether or not he wants it on him still. But I still have my concerns about that Fae causing him harm. Sorry, I'll get it right.
All good. Well, I think because, the cliffhanger you left on was you said you could still hear the organ music, which we were following until we came up towards the heart, because Zal didn't realise that the circle of protection stopped me from hearing that. So, Zal's gonna, say fuck it, and he's gonna dispel magic on himself to get rid of the protection.
Oh, I can just dismiss it. If you just
All that.
ask me to, I can just take it off.
Okay, alright, I'll do that then. I kind of have to. I'm like, you can still hear the organ? Can you please dismiss this magic? I want to hear it. I want to follow it.
That's possibly a concern, but yeah, I'm not going to make you do something you don't want.
There we go. Ding.
So yes, you can hear music. You can hear the organ music again coming from somewhere below.
That's right, because it started coming from the opposite corridor that we came down.
You did.
I yell at the paladin that I'm gonna stop climbing the stairs. I'm gonna go for this organ music. We can come back and investigate this later. We know where it is. It's probably not gonna move. We hope.
Well, it's floating in the air, and the whole tower is shaking the closer you get to it.
Yeah, and it's making the rest of the party not feel so great. So let's go.
Okay, and you start heading downwards, not realizing that Chauvel didn't join you.
I wouldn't move down unless he started coming with.
Don't you mean she?
She, sorry. Yes.
Well, at least I'm not the only one who does it.
I know, it's funny.
I'm usually pretty good. Usually. Yes.
I would yell as well for Chauvel.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get her attention.
Okay, she seems to notice at that point. And keeps pointing upwards.
Keeps pointing upwards?
Yeah.
Okay. Has she stopped though?
No.
I'll go after her. To see if I can persuade her to come down.
Okay.
I can walk faster and move faster than most people, so I'll just kind of sprint up the steps to where she is if she's not that far away. Grab her arm.
Okay, is Imni and Zal doing anything else at that point?
I was gonna probably try and mobilize the paladin if she kept going, but I'll see how effective discrowding her is, I guess.
Okay, so you watch Thala dash on ahead, and as Thala catches up, I'll give Thala a will saving throw. Or actually, that would be wisdom saving throw.
So that's 15 plus. Where's my? Oh, here it is.
You get to add plus 10.
So 25.
25. Okay, so you managed to grab Chauvel and drag Chauvel backwards.
Well, I explained to her that the others are having a bad response to the heart thing, and Zal thinks that we need to follow the organ music instead, and we can come back to this after we do that. and hopefully she's compliant and agrees and comes.
Well, you do manage to drag her back down the stairs with you. Just looking at the map. Okay, so you reach back down to the area, to the landing with the chapel. It's rather easy to find considering it was one of the few lit up areas. And do you keep following the music?
Presume so, since Sal was pretty insistent.
We're just trying to match up various levels. It's always fun when you're looking at things going, now how do they connect? Okay. So you start moving through the hallway with all the life-size knight statues on either side. And not creepily at all, the eyes seem to follow you the entire way.
Not creepy at all.
Yeah. So you're probably used to it by now because we've been past them like, what, twice now?
Yeah, that's right. We have.
You have. And you find yourself in the main entry hall with all the cobwebs above you.
So we already been here, so we're going back the way we came?
Yep, because the music seems to be heading you back this way. Yes, you have been here before. I'm sorry, I didn't see who was talking that point. Was someone asking a question?
No, I think that might have been Sue's son's game.
Oh,
Or grandson's game.
Sorry.
No, it only just came through for a second, Sue, so...
I was just in the middle of making sure I could actually read. My glasses were extremely smudged. Okay. So finding yourself in the area, you find that to the south of you is a main door off a side passage of the hall where you can hear the music, as well as seeing a stairwell, another stairwell going up and down. So that there's now you've actually come across about 4 different stairways, and across from the area where the music is coming from is a grand stairwell going up. And when I mean grand stairwell, the stairs seem to be at least trying to figure out what the size of the map squares are. Let's say at least 10 feet wide. I'll say 10 feet wide, where most of the other stairs are 5 feet wide.
Is there a direction in which it seems that the orchestral music seems to be stronger?
To the south. You'd just gone to the east towards the chapel, and now the music's coming from the south.
Okay, so presume we'll head southwards?
Okay. Heading south, you come up against a solid oak door where you can hear the music vibrating out of.
Check for traps. Does any of us is the ranger better at checking for traps than the rest of us?
Probably.
Oh, are you a ranger as well as Ivney?
No, I'm just answering because I used to be a ranger. Remember
Yep.
the whole failed ranger bit?
Yes, I do. I was leaving it out because
Ranger.
I was going to
Hello,
say,
Josh.
without Josh, it hadn't been brought up yet.
So, Josh, would you like to introduce yourself now that you're finally back?
Yes, I can introduce myself. Hi, I'm Josh. I play Chagall the Paladin.
I feel like there's
Oh
more
God,
A's
my
in there
eyes.
than there was last time.
Well, he's trying to make up for the 11 levels of Paladin.
Yes. Yeah, so Chevelle is a fighting knight paladin. Fairly tall, fairly fiery tempered,
She has dashing good looks.
dashing good looks,
Yes,
smoking hot good looks
she's
sometimes.
very dashing. Very smoking hot.
Good small makeup.
Yeah.
I was going to say, considering you're a fire genasi.
But yeah, is surprisingly enough the beefcake of the party and is willing to at least help the party.
Okay. So does this mean that Chevelle is going to do the look for traps on the door for everyone?
I mean, I could.
Well, I just heard the volunteer there.
Yeah,
Isn't that what the beefcake does?
that's what the beefcake does.
But I do have the ability to find traps.
So does
Just
someone with lots
pointing
of
out.
good points.
And possibly Imni can find traps too.
So for any of you, that would be a perception roll.
Perception. Just trying to figure out.
So any of us that want to look for traps would do that.
Yes.
That's better.
I don't find any traps.
What did you
11.
roll? 11. Okay. Is that 11 total?
Yeah.
So I believe your perception.
I rolled a 19, so plus 2, 21.
No. Nice.
That is a pretty good roll there, Sue. So, Imni has a good look at the door.
And it was on the app as well.
It's surprising when the app rolls well for you.
I'm using the spell. I need to roll for perception.
Which spell are you
Very
using?
surprising.
I've got to find
yes.
traps.
Was this
Uh,
perception?
Is it the ritual only at the top?
It is. It does take 10 minutes.
Okay,
That's
so-
why I was asking the group if they wanted me to cast it.
Well, that would be the equivalent of 100 actions of the group.
Okay, so then no. Okay, cool. Sorry, when I rolled, I didn't understand why I was
So-
rolling.
Okay. And what did Josh get?
16.
16. Okay, so the three of you are looking at the door. The door looks rather spooky. It has little mouths all over it with eyes which resemble knots in the wood but also seem to resemble eyes at the same time. And having a good look at it, it doesn't appear to be locked or trapped. And it has this nice ornate looking handle made out of iron.
Zoe walks confidently through.
So do you believe the door is an illusion?
No, as in, like, I open the door confidently. I don't think it's an illusion. But hey, it could be, who knows?
Well, the way you worded it, that's what it sort of sounded like. So yes, you reach forward and open the door. As you hear a blast of organ music come from the room. And see three enormous crystal chandeliers flare up brightly in a magnificent chamber. The pillars are stone against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling. You see pillars of stone standing against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling. The center of the room, a long heavy table, is covered with fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many foods, roasted beast basted in savory sauces, roots and herbs of every type that you've ever seen, and sweet fruits and vegetables. And you see places set for 6 with fine delicate china and silver. Each plate has a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid that you can even smell the fragrance of from here. At the center of the far west wall, between the floor to ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ, its pipes blaring out the thunderous melody that speaks of its tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ facing away from you is a single caped figure pounding its keys in raptured ecstasy.
Ecstasy?
Yes, I could not actually get the word out, so thank you.
That's okay.
The figure suddenly stops, and a deep silence comes over the dining hall as he slowly turns towards you.
What's he look like?
Well-dressed, pale man in a cape with slightly pointed ears and in need of a manicure.
Oh, I could probably do that for him.
I am going to presume, as they sort of bow slightly, that you are the owner of this great castle.
He says, I am. And who might you be? As your skull suddenly starts calling out Zal in Celestial over and over again.
You couldn't.
Yeah, I say jokingly, pointing at my dad and then pointing to the sky. It seems that my name needs to echo around these great halls and in the sky and be blasted everywhere. I kind of give like a sort of wry smile, like I'm not really enjoying it, but I'm kind of like I've got no choice.
Well, he says your meeting has been foretold. It was said that you would come and join us.
Good to see that we're on time.
Come take a seat.
That's news to me, but hey, you know.
Always nice to meet family.
I was going to say the table set for 6 seems to indicate we're expected. Unless it just happens to be another party of 6.
Or your fine, and I presume butler, also set this up after we met on the gangway.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, possible.
So, come invite your friends to stay.
I gesture for everyone to come in, sit down. Apparently, we are family, did you say?
Something like that, he says. And he goes and sits at the head chair of the table with a big swish of the fine cloak he's wearing.
I need to get myself a swishy cloak.
Swishy cloaks are the best.
Mm.
You even hear it go whoosh whoosh as it moves.
Is that a sound effect that you put on there, or is that just your masterful walking technique?
It's a skill you learn over time, he says.
Unless, of course, you get a Doctor Strange cape, in which case you're going to be rocking it, no problem.
And so, tell me of yourselves, he says, as he gestures towards the food for you to eat as you talk.
I will sit, but I won't eat. I won't make it necessarily obvious. I'll just pay attention to the fellow talking and Zal.
Okay, so Zal, do you start eating this fine, delicious smelling food and drink?
I probably won't have any of the drink, because it presumes that it's probably alcoholic. But I don't see a problem in wasting a really good-looking food.
Well, it actually smells like a grape juice.
Oh, does it?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Not fermented.
Maybe I'll ask him. I'm like, is this alcoholic?
We have no need to alcohol here, he says. It seems to get in the way of things. We prefer not to have people's thoughts clouded with intoxicants, he says.
Well then I will also partake in the food and drink.
And the drink itself is stunning. You've not actually had its equal before. It even outdoes most of the alcoholic wines you have tried over the years.
They're very few and far between times that I may or may not have had alcohol.
And the food is expertly prepared. So does Chauvel sit and eat?
Well, I say to Cheval, I'm like, well, if he says his family, then that includes you, buddy.
Hello, Josh. You're still on mute.
Sorry, what happened?
Well, we're asking if you sat and ate if you were going to sit and eat at the banquet table with the nice-smelling food and drink.
You see Saul's already, like, talking and drinking. Big manner.
Sure, I will sit, but be awfully suspicious.
So will Imni, and she'll also be awfully suspicious.
You do watch as Zal eats and drinks the food, commenting on how great it is. So what does Zal say of your reason for being here? I was going to grab myself a quick drink.
Oh, do you want me to? I could have done it. Sorry, I should have asked.
So asking M again, what does M say?
Well, we came through the portal, obviously, and then we met with your butler, question mark, and he asked me what was my sort of goal or in life, and I said finding out my heritage, my ancestry, because it's very muddled. And then here we are.
You don't mention anything about your history, like your parents being gone and that kind of thing?
Not yet.
And he says, well, what about your companions?
Is that her answering on our behalf, or is he asking us each separately?
Well, he asked, gesturing to the rest of the people, because no one else has eaten or drunk anything.
I'm happy for. Presume Cheval would probably be the first to speak up. To smite you all. Wait a minute. Hopefully she doesn't say that.
I wouldn't be surprised if a paladin didn't say something like that.
Yeah, Cheval will just...
Or at least think that...
I don't have to think anything. I can just sit here and look very suspicious at everything that's going down.
So Chauvel says nothing, he just glares. Is that correct?
Yes, I think so.
And what about Imni? Does Imni say anything when asked to speak for themselves?
No. She just sits there and looks.
Gala will say that she's always happy to support her friend Zal in his endeavours. But since she's come here, she's also very interested in finding out the history of some of this place, particularly the chapel and the heart that she's come across. And part of her motivation for coming through the portal in the first place was because there is a dire threat in one of the other worlds, and she's seeking more information about this portal network and how it's being used.
And after that, your host says, that's all good to hear, good to know. You find it a bit odd that he doesn't really seem to be responding to what you've been telling and asking him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might have an extra person available shortly. And after saying that, he disappears, and so does the food in front of you. But Zal still feels full, and he had had a decent meal. And as he disappears, the organs flare up on their own again with a eerie, thunderous
I feel
roar.
kind of chipped.
And you didn't need when Zal suggests, so that's on you.
No, I don't feel gypped about missing out on the food. I've got my own food on me. I don't have a problem with having the food. And not having the food. I feel gypped that I said something and he just went, "That's nice," and disappeared.
Did
No.
he disappear, or did he just disappear the food?
He disappeared.
He disappeared, and the food disappeared.
Oh,
Everything
Right.
disappeared.
everything disappeared. Right.
Yeah, so I feel kind of gypped. Because I saw that the other two didn't say anything, so I thought, well, I'll try saying something. And the only things I stated were things that they'd know already. Like, they already know we've been to the chapel. They already know that we've seen the heart. So,
I will give Thaler a insight roll.
I'll put the pages out of there. Do you happen to know what my plus on my insight is?
Your insight should be plus 10.
So it's a not natural 20.
Okay. You realise that your host was an illusion.
Okay.
So, most likely pre-programmed with what to say.
Yep.
Because he didn't really use anyone's name.
Yep. I was going to ask him who he was and that, but didn't get the chance because he disappeared. So, upon everything disappearing, I might go and try and see if we can leave the room. Just want to see if the door will open.
Okay, as you get up to walk, you see that there's a floating scroll.
Okay. Is it in front of me or
Between the party and the door.
Okay. Look, a scroll. Does Zal want to grab it
And
first?
it unrolls as you look at it.
I will read fast just in case it disappears.
It says, "You are welcome to explore the castle at your leisure. Enjoy the wonders it beholds," and it lists all your names underneath it.
Okay. Is it signed by anyone?
Signed by your host.
Interesting, it has all our names on it.
What? That's why Zal answered, because he kind of figured there's no point hiding, because he's probably strong enough to just know.
Yeah. Well, that's why I answered with the things that it would probably know already.
And it probably knows more than that too. But yeah.
Thala will look up into the general area and go, "It would be nice to have a guide! Please? I have coffee and cookies!"
Chauvel will wander out.
So Chauvel wanders out. Okay.
I will follow. Unless someone replies to my...
So he's adding in new person so they can join us.
Is it alright if I go bathroom?
You can go to bathroom.
Not going to kill me in the meantime?
Not in the meantime.
Afterwards, different thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait till you get back.
So new person is on in the general channel. I will just send a message in Messenger as well. So we might have a new person jumping in at any moment.
Nice.
So I was hoping you'd jump in quicker than that. Don't you love how things never always work out the way you expect it to? Okay. So yes, you've got that scroll. Floating between you and the door, and Chauvel just walks out. Okay, so as you walk out of the room, the music of the organ dies off into silence. Okay, I might have to jump into the other channel and be back in a moment.
A channel. Where is the Mystara?
So you should have a channel below you that you've been added to. And it should
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just have to jump into the different channel. So you should be able to go down under general. There should be another channel called Mystara Friday.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay. I'll see you back in there. Okay, so I will have our new player Khan introduce himself and what his character is, and then I'll tell you how his character arrives.
Martin, you'll need to start the screen back up on Discord as well.
Yep, I can do that as well. All those fun things about making technology try to work for you. Okay. So yes, it is a push to talk at this stage, Khan. So you'll need to unmute to tell everyone who you are.
Is that no voice, like he can't hear us?
Well, he's got mute on at the moment.
No, as in like maybe he can't even hear us. What is that chat? What is the chat in this channel? Oh, general.
hopefully we will hear something soon.
Since I know I don't have permission to talk, but if he's in this channel, then he should have permissions, right?
Yeah, everyone has permissions if you're added into the channel. You can't see the channel without permission.
Maybe he has to restart our Discord.
I just heard him in general chat, so
Okay, that's good.
that's why I'm a little bit surprised we can't actually hear him at the moment.
He's got himself muted.
Yeah, that was why I sent him a message saying he's on mute.
Yeah.
I'll try setting it through this as well. Okay, so hopefully we'll hear from him soon. Besides that, you in the area outside of the main dining room, and you see across from you a stairwell that goes up and down. To your left is a grand stairwell going up. And you realize there are many different ways to go in this place. It appears to be a large maze.
I'm
But
guessing that's why I said look at the place in your leisure time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't we have 340 hours or something?
Quite possibly, yes.
Which works out to be how many days?
Quite a few days.
Thala wants to, there's opportunity to do she wants to take out her journal. She's going to start sketching a map of where they've been.
Yep.
And then she wants to also keep track of the hours that have gone by. Would I need to do that through like candles or something, or?
Possibly, but you'd only have so many candles.
Yeah, probably not 340 hours worth of candles.
Very few people have that many candles.
No.
And as you can't use daylight or
No.
other forms of keeping track of it.
What she really needs
Neither
is...
have all we have to do, except that we may or may not go back in like.
I can't hear her.
Could you speak up, Em?
So am I not coming through?
You just be quiet for Ariadna.
Yeah, it might be because there's a fan on full behind me and I haven't got my hearing aid. But
Turn it off.
I just sat down, so I should have just got up and got my hearing aid.
Where is your hearing aid?
I think in my bed tray.
Cause what we worked out, that was that amount of hours was to get back
Yeah.
within that day.
I just know it was something like 340 hours. Unfortunately, my hands weren't working. I didn't take any notes from last game, and I kind of came back to back from visiting my dad to starting game, so I didn't listen to the game last fortnight like I normally would. So I just remember it was like something like 340 hours, and I figure if we've got to find a portal to get home, because they said we couldn't go back out the way we came in, then we need to kind of keep track of the time as well. So, you know, the longer we go without finding the portal, kind of the more urgent it will become.
And then we could also maybe ask our co-hosts, maybe?
If there's a way to keep track of the time.
No, as in, like, ask him where the portal...
Where the portal is, yes, that's true. While I was in the bathroom, was it established we knew how to communicate with our host yet, aside from following organs and talking to illusions that won't answer?
Sorry, I just have to try to add things and figure out what I've... Okay. Try to make sure so people can talk.
Yeah.
Really strange.
I might have just not set up all the permissions well. I have just added extra permissions on. So Khan, try again. It should now be working, hopefully.
Is this new player?
Yeah.
What was their name?
Khan, Kharn.
Kharn. Khan. Yep, okay, cool. I should probably write that down in my book for players here tonight, though.
I think I've given him all the permissions he needs to do stuff.
He might have to leave chat and join again, possibly.
Yeah, that might.
Normally, once you've added, it should be okay.
Yeah, sometimes Discord does funny things, though.
One's kind of got a lot of flaws, and then alternatively, Skype does too.
Yeah, I believe he's about to try to drop out and come back in again.
Yeah. We've had less problems with Discord. Like,
Yeah.
once you're set up, then it doesn't seem to make stuff up.
Oh, I'm in 4 games a fortnight, and I would say it might actually be either the same or a little bit more. It really depends on if everybody's here at the start of game, there's less problems, but if people try to join in the middle, it's kind of more. If that makes sense?
Yeah, it's sort of got to see how things go. Okay, so hopefully he'll join. He'll give us audio soon. If not, till then, you're in an open area of the main foyer. You have a small stairwell going up. You have a grand stairwell going up. You have the area that leads to the chapel and 2 more stairwells. So you have the choice of 4 different stairs, and only one of them goes just up. The other 3 go down and up. And the pulsing crystalline heart is one of the ones from the chapel.
Okay, so the stairways from the chapel lead to the crystal heart.
One of the stairways do.
Yeah. The grand stairwell, is there anything... I don't suppose, considering this is supposed to be a main foyer type area, there's a little map of where we are and what we're doing?
There is not.
Damn.
You think that's part of the challenge of the place?
Remain ever hopeful.
Well, I'm the kind of girl who goes for the obvious. I would probably go up the grand staircase. However, if you guys would like to go down first, because I don't know, in Zal's experience, since you may need to roll an arcana or history or something, or religion, when you're looking for portals in strange new worlds to go home, do you go down generally to find those portals, or is it really, roll the dice literally and see how you get there?
Considering that I've never gone portal hunting before, Zal has absolutely no idea.
Well, I just thought with your knowledge of necromancers and your parents and things, you might have a bit of childhood memory, or, you know, you might have read something in a book somewhere that if you rolled well on the dice, you might remember.
Your father's skull offers useful advice. It says Zal a few times.
Can he point with his nose or not nose? Chin. Point with his chin. Which direction should we go in?
He spins around. He's using the letter in the window, I believe.
I hope so.
That's it.
Isn't that my job?
No.
Quick, the DM's gone to check on the cat. Let's figure out where we are. Plan to overthrow him.
Yes. Let's do it. Oh, here comes the cat. They're back.
Didn't have to
Here
go
comes
far.
the purple.
It doesn't look like he was hard to catch.
He was in the kitchen.
Cupboard doors?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I thought the scratching sounded weird. So, right now, Thal's bending over to look at Zal's dad's skull and going, point with your chin. Which way should we go?
And the skull just spins in circles.
Go everywhere at once.
I'm all for the grand staircase. Does anyone want to go in a different direction? I'm going to presume from the silence, no. Thal's heading up the main staircase.
Believe that Thala is chosen for everyone, and everyone's happy to follow Thala.
I waited at least 5 seconds for someone to say something.
Is that a new record for Thala?
Probably.
Possibly.
There was at least 1 second involved, so it was a record.
Oh, come on, I counted to 5 slowly.
For Thala, yes, that was slow.
Okay.
Just because I live here doesn't mean I can't leave the game.
I know.
He's also being slightly silent. Our dinner just rocked up, so we're like chowing down.
Okay, so you walk up the massive stairs and find yourself on a landing with... just trying to describe it. A large landing where the stairs split in two, either side of two standing suits of armor.
Can we see whether they join up again at the top? Or?
Can't tell because the stairs go up quite a bit at this point.
So they disappear.
And they don't have a lot of light in here. Each of the armor clutches a mace with the top of it in the shape of a dragon's head.
Sorry, what's it?
The maces that the suits of armor have,
Right.
the head of the mace is that of a dragon's head.
Okay.
And
seems somewhat cool, but also somewhat scary.
And there are names engraved on wood behind the statues, but someone seemed to have scratched them out.
So there's knights with maces with dragon heads.
Yep.
And
you could just so you come up onto a landing. Instead of continuing up from that landing, it splits into two different stairs.
Yeah.
And between the two stairs are the two knights, two
maces.
suits of armor with their maces with their dragon head.
Yeah, but there's nothing else going on.
Not here at this point.
Okay, so we just got to choose left or right.
Or examine the armor, or go back down again.
Well, because I have a friend who's a dragon, I'll examine the armor.
Okay. So how do you go about that?
I'll do a cursory, no touchy visual scan.
Give me a perception check. If you know touchy.
Well, not just yet. I might touchy soon, but. Okay. Perception, was that plus 10?
Plus 10,
That
yes.
makes it 19.
We have audio from Khan.
Ooh,
Yay!
there's no mute. There's no mute there anymore. So yay. Question.
So, we'll get Ariadne to do the say what her role is, and then I'll
This is
Yay,
19.
Khan.
Good 19. So yes, you notice that there are pressure plates in front of the statues. So
Oh,
welcome, Khan, to our online part of the game. Well, we see that you're not muted, but we can't hear you at this point.
You may have to go into your Discord settings, which is down the bottom next to your name, the little user settings. I had
Oh.
issues with,
It's weird though
People
because
hearing me.
Martin heard him in general chat. So
yeah, but this is a specific one. I had real issues when I joined, and like now my laptop won't even let me do I can't hear anything unless I have my headphones on now. It's driving me nuts. So I've got into all the settings in the laptop, in the Discord, doesn't matter where, and I have to have the headphones plugged in or I can't hear anything. And sometimes I have issues with people not being able to hear me. So I
you
have to go
speak
into
really,
settings.
really clearly today. I think last week you were having issues with your connection though.
Yeah, last week my internet just kept dropping out because it was raining. It had been raining all week.
Paul has that problem when it's raining a lot.
Well, I'm rural and we have one little internet thing up on the hill, and if it's windy and the trees blow around a lot, the signal gets blocked. So it cuts out. So yeah.
Okay, just gonna type around my cat.
Do you need me to move the cat, or is he just too in that zone of I'm getting attention, don't touch me?
I think he's happy that he's taking up camera space.
Well, it's because he's good looking. Yeah. He deserves all the camera space. Getting to a point where it should be one spell per page.
Okay. Well, I might be able to sort something like that out a bit later.
Well, because I'm looking back to find something I saw, but now I can't find it, and I've been through these pages 4 times now, and I still can't find it. And I'm trying to be careful, and I still can't find it.
Okay, so Thala points out that she has seen pressure plates in front of the suits of armor.
Yeah. But still, left or right. No one says anything, we're going left.
Okay.
Were there pressure plates in front of both, or just
Yep.
one?
Both.
Oh, in front of both.
Yep.
Interesting.
But it also says we need to be careful because as free as we are to walk around this place and explore, you know, there's a chance that,
It doesn't mean that traps won't kill us.
yeah, that there's not traps still and that they aren't rigged to go.
I'm trying to figure out exactly where you've gone because, like all these fantastic things, they forget to say which things connect to what. Oh, come on. They're number 25. Where is 25? Oh, yeah, there is an actual stairs there. Okay. I mean, there I couldn't actually see them because of the way they'd done it. Okay, so yes. Heading up the left set of stairs. You find yourself coming into a dimly lit courtyard of a great hall. To the right is a broken glass and iron lacework of a large window. This immense room is a place of chilly, brooding darkness. Has places for torches around the walls that are all empty.
Hundreds of dust-laden cobwebs drape the hall, hiding the ceiling from view. You see a large set of double doors across the room from the window to your left. And at the far end of the hall, a large wooden throne stands upon a marble dais. A high back throne faces away from most of the room.
So 2 thrones?
The wooden throne is facing away from the room.
Okay, so it's 1 throne and it's just facing away.
So it's got its back to the audience area.
Okay, right. I am going to go and look at the front of the throne. I am going to move slowly and carefully and see if I can see traps along my way. But I'm not going to crawl.
Okay. Your feet make a echo around the room as you walk.
I feel like there should be a sound effect for that.
More spooky music.
As you walk across the room, the others are still standing at the top of the stairs.
That's okay.
They all hear the thump, thump, thump of Thala walking across the room.
I'm an elf.
And you're surprised at how loud your steps are.
I was going to say, this is surprising. Do I see anything at the front of the throne?
Looking around at the throne itself takes you a while to walk across there. But when you finally reach there and have a look, the throne is empty.
Any writing, scrolls, books, signs, pictures, posters?
Give me a perception roll as you look. What is everyone else doing while you see Thala walk on ahead?
That came across as Thala walks on her head rather than a head. And I'm just like, so are they perceiving me upside down right now? What? And
Sure.
I'm like, oh, he meant our head, as in I've gone beyond everybody
heads.
else.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it sad that I did imagine like walking on her head? Like
Listen,
No wonder there was a thumping noise.
we're in a twisted universe. People walk on their heads here.
22.
because I heard it the same way, and then I was like, wait, that's not right.
Well, it is a horror place. So, you've got a few people chuckling behind you at the visuals that they just had. As you notice that there is a secret door that the throne is facing.
I'll have a look to see if it's trapped.
Give me a perception roll as you try to find any traps on that door.
19.
Okay, having a look at it, it does not appear to be trapped.
Hey guys, I found a secret door. Did you say there was broken glass though?
Yes. In the big windows to the outside.
So the glass was broken.
Yeah.
The window
So
glass.
it looked like it was a stained glass window.
Yeah.
Is it broken in or out?
You go over and have a look.
I'll go over and have a look.
Okay, so you walk over. You don't even hear the sounds of your feet if you walk over.
Maybe.
Even so, you even try to stamp your foot and you still don't hear a sound.
Super creepy.
And as you look at the window, you can see by the glass that has fallen inwards that whatever broke it, it may have gone in or out because glass is missing but also present on the ground below. So you don't have enough glass to make up the missing portions of the window. So it has been shattered at some point, and you recognize elements of your family crest.
Interesting.
What does Chevelle do while Zar's busily looking at broken glass?
Val is going to keep an eye on Thala.
I'm waiting for you guys.
So you
before I
walk
go through
over? Or just stare at Thala from across a large room?
I'll walk over.
Okay, so you hear a clanging noise as you walk across the chamber. Echoes loudly with every step. Leaving Imni behind on the stairs.
No. Amy will follow. She's not going to stay behind.
Imni's not staying behind nowhere.
So are you following Zal or Chevelle?
I'm following Zal.
Okay. So as you walk over to where Zal lives, you hear your footsteps making loud noises wherever you step.
So it seems to be only Zal is light of feet here.
I'm gonna presume it has something to do with the little deity thing that I got, because that's the only thing that's that I think is different. Possibly, I don't know. I'm making conjecture.
And you can see out through this window the path that you guys had taken to get here.
Do we still see those tentacles?
Yep, they're still dangling above the pathway.
Of course they are.
Of course.
Left where you cast them.
Technically, wasn't it Ross?
It was Ross.
Yep.
But it's left where the party cast them.
I gather we just.
How long did that spell last again?
It's only supposed to last about 10 minutes. Or a minute, something like that.
It's definitely been more than 10 minutes.
It has.
Though it did go awry to begin with, so, you know, who knows.
So yes, you can see the big double doors behind you while you're looking out the window, and that the other flight of stairs also came up here, which is close to the doors. So both sets besides the armor came up here.
Oh, so we can see that no matter which staircase we went up, we would have ended up in the courtyard?
You would have ended up in basically the throne room.
Oh, the throne room. So you said it was a courtyard?
Yes, it's a large open area.
Oh, okay.
And yes, so Chevelle stomps across the room to Thala. And Thala points out that the secret door that Chevelle can't see is not trapped.
I'm an elf. I tell Zal to hurry up if she wants to come through. And Imni, I think Imni went over to where Zal was.
Yeah, Imni went over to where Zal was, yes.
Yep, I'll move over to. I don't want to be left behind, so.
No one does. Don't worry, no one's leaving you behind either.
I stealth my way over, and Zal's never been stealthy in his life.
Does this mean you're just going to run back and forth across the courtyard just because you can? And no one can hear you?
It's kind of tempting, but then you're all looking at me, so, you know, that would be kind of awkward.
No, technically, I'm looking at the door.
If you turn around and see me just prancing around, then that's going to be kind of embarrassing.
No, because Thala will probably go, "Oh, it's time to dance," and she would join you. It would be Chevelle who would go, "Really?"
Yes. Really.
in the most deadpan voice you can get. Is there only that one set of windows?
Having much luck.
There's only one big window, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and unfortunately we're not getting a lot of luck with Khan today. We may have to sort it out one time when we're not running the game.
Yeah, you're just not able to get through.
Not hearing him.
That's a
I
shame.
think you can hear us.
Yeah, it's just not as much fun if you can't talk back.
Yeah.
No, that is also very true.
I almost wish you could do it on like a mobile phone.
You can technically.
The lengths we'd go to.
Well, I mean, I have Discord on my phone, the computer, my iPad, so that's all.
And apparently got the happy little kitty going here. So yes, does Zal do a prance around the room while he's not making any noise?
No, I'm just gonna like walk normally and
Release your inner dancer.
well, I kind of think about it, but he won't do it.
Okay, give me a will saving throw.
How close are you to the paladin?
Now it's Emmy's turn to go. Really?
Yeah,
Deadpan
like,
voice.
I'm just gonna like start like singing a song and la 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 la.
Well, you know he turned a goth mage into
A Disney princess.
a Disney princess, so nothing's avoidable here.
Not too bad. 21. I forgot that, I'm actually good at wisdom on this character. I was getting confused with, like, Duza, who's not.
Okay, so you don't give in to the impulse to dance around and let go.
I'm frolic.
Frolic.
Which you quite could easily have done, but you did not.
I prefer I want to break free.
That's true. Could have also done that.
Yeah, there are many ways of doing that.
I know there's a lot of kids out there that would disagree with me, but I think Queen's the better band.
I would agree with you, except for we have frozen almost permanently stuck in our brain at the moment because of bomb.
Yeah, well that's what I mean.
He
Don't-
actually sings it.
don't
Dude,
inf-
it does like the hand movements and everything. It's cute.
Don't infect us all though, Emmy. Don't infect us all.
That was Josh singing.
No.
Was it?
Yes.
No, we gotta music learn all of you. You've gotta suffer all the dust.
Yeah, no, we don't.
So just imagine if he started to sing Queen and go down the whole Highlander path.
I would like to put on record that the age of 18 months, my younger brother was singing AC/DC. That's how you rock it.
I mean, Mia still hasn't gotten rid of her death metal growls.
I like the death metal growls.
She still does the demon baby.
Apparently my lap cat is wanting to get lots of scratches today.
He's just itchy. His fur's really long. He can't scratch anymore. Alright,
So yes, you've now gathered at the secret door that only you've seen.
I will attempt to open the secret door.
Okay, you pull the hidden lever and the door opens into a corridor.
Right. I check
Surprising
traps.
everyone. There's a door there.
26.
Does not appear to be a trapped corridor from the where you're standing, but you can see arrow slits in the wall, allowing people to shoot outside the castle.
Okay. I see anything out the arrow slits?
You move up to the arrow slit and look out, and you can see the outside of the courtyard of the castle.
Okay.
That's where we mentioned courtyard. You could see out the window to see the courtyard.
Oh,
below.
right, to the courtyard.
Yes.
I see. Yep, that's where I get confused. Does it seem to lead anywhere? Is this just a secret place for people to hide and
There
shoot?
is a passageway to the left and right. To the right, you see stairs that go up and down. And to the left, you see a passageway that seems to go into 2 rooms.
Rooms. I'll go check out the rooms first. I'll look for traps when I get to.
Okay, so as you reach the first of the 2 rooms, you see a high dome ceiling in this 30-foot wide octagonal room before you. Frescoes faded with age adorn the ceiling, but their images are impossible to make out. Tall, thin arrow slits overlook the courtyard below.
Nothing in there?
This room appears to be empty.
I will investigate.
Okay, give me an investigation roll as you go up and try to see if there's something else here.
Is my investigation plus the same as my perception plus?
Just looking it up now. Your investigation is +2.
21.
21. Having a look around, nothing else seems to be here. This seems to be purely a defensive position.
Okay,
Besides the obscure artwork on the ceiling.
go to the next room.
Okay, looking in the next room. You have great vantage of the courtyard in front of the main doors from here, but this also seems to be another defensive position, designed specifically to protect the gates.
Go back the other way.
Okay, you reach the set of stairs. Do you wish to go up or down?
Alright. Does anyone have any preference as to whether they go up or down?
I always liked up.
Same
I was
here.
gonna say
Oh,
that.
we got a person!
Hi.
You can see how
Oh,
excited
no,
they are to have
I just
you.
push buttons.
He saw you flashing.
Oh, now Amy, don't accuse him of that. Not this early in the night.
Not that kind of flashing. Come on.
I was talking about a flashlight. We are doing a horror setting, after all.
Okay, so Carl, would you like to introduce yourself to the recording?
Yeah, sure. Hi, my character is Shiggy Kutuku. He's a wood elf monk, and of the Kensai persuasion, I guess, or the path was the path of Kensai, and does enjoy hitting things.
I think you're in good company with Chevelle.
Okay, so
And Imni.
I'll rewind them slightly a little bit as they're looking out over the courtyard below. So looking out over the courtyard below, they see your elf walking across the courtyard towards the main doors.
So we see in the courtyard and we can see a wood elf.
A wood elf walking towards the courtyard, the main doors of the castle.
I will call out, "Hello there!" Not mixing genres.
It'll be very hard for him to see you up in the castle
Oh,
behind
okay.
an arrow slit.
Really?
Yes,
Ah.
it's not easy to see people inside castles.
I could cast dancing lights.
Alright.
You'd probably think it's just a weird thing. I will point him out to the rest of our party. Can
So-
I face step down there? Too far.
You could, but that means you would fall the rest of the way.
I'm an elf. I'm light on my feet. Alright. I will just let the rest of the group know there's a stranger down there. We should probably go down and meet them.
First person you've actually seen coming into the castle since you got here.
So you're not making me roll a check against going, there's a guy down there, and then zipping back the way we came? Because Thala's on speed, even though she's not on speed?
I mean, technically you say you're silent, but like you just made like the loudest noise Lala's probably ever heard you make in this grand hall.
Yeah,
Very true.
So by the time the wood elf makes his way into the main hall, the rest of you have come down the stairs. So, could you each describe how your character looks to the new elf?
Let me finish this sentence. Somebody else go first.
Yeah, sure. You see Old Elf stands about 5'8", fairly heavily dressed.
So a quick question for you. Is he really short for an elf, or is he average height? So the
about average height.
The average height for
About
most
average.
of the elves is
Yeah.
between 7 and 8 foot.
Yeah. So,
Oh, is
so
it?
you're
Yeah.
you need to add like a foot. Like you need to be 6
Okay,
foot.
so he's 7 foot 3 inches then. So he's at the shorter end of average. Dressed in, I guess what you would look at National Geographic picture of Mongolia out in the steppes. They've got the pointy boots, the big furry hat. He's carrying a quarterstaff, a pack, and you'll see there's a saber, which I guess would be analog, like a scimitar / short sword, and his belt as well. And well, hello.
Sorry, I thought you said we each describe ourselves to the wood elves.
And then that's okay. Then we'll have Em describe her character, and I'll just quickly back to the bathroom while each of you describe your characters.
So Zal's up. If Zal,
Alright, so you see this, what you think is a ranger, but then you start to notice other things, like, he has this drift globe and a couple of holy symbols on his belt. He has, he's sort of dressed in, like, sort of traditional Ethengarian like archery clothes, but he has a short longbow, but he also has this really big spear, which you think is quite unusual. But then you sort of see the holy symbols, and it's kind of like this eclectic mess of stuff. Though you're not entirely sure what Zal is, but it's like all dressed, but just like there's so many different things and items sort of on his person that you just kind of go like, what are you?
Okay. Cool.
Imni, did you want to describe yourself?
Okay. I'm Imni. I'm a ranger, a human ranger. I come from I was part of the Khan. I'm a poor cousin from the Khan family. So my hero was Kandu. She was the princess of the princess, and she was my hero. She used to be part of this party, but she no longer is. And I'm still coming to terms with the fact that she is no longer regarded as a hero. She still is in my eyes, but I've got to start recognizing my own abilities and talents, and I'm slowly doing that with the help of the party, of course. But yeah, so I'm just learning to get back on, well, not back on, get onto my own 2 feet and be the ranger that I can be.
Okay.
So has Josh introduced his character?
Not yet.
All right. You see a glowing set of armor coming down the stairs, and all you get is Paladin!
I don't think you're loud enough.
You'll know. Wait,
Yeah.
take the charge.
Yell louder and wait for trouble. After you've finished rubbing your eyes, because you're blinded by that, you see a fire genasi standing at about 6'2". Long, flamey hair and very, very hot.
In more ways than one.
More ways than one, yes.
Hot, both stunning. Hot, both temperature, hot to touch.
Hot as in
And
tempered as
looking
well.
actively disappointed
yeah.
of why we're here.
You're actively disappointed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of being here, basically.
Yeah, so am I. We haven't come across any portals. We haven't come across any information. It's becoming frustrating, but
So we've come across a cool statue.
And also on Cheval, you see a sword hilt with the holy symbol of Chubak.
Okay.
And Tubak is known as the lawgiver and protector of the Ethengarian people. Ariadne, you want to introduce your character?
So Thala's a tree speaker druid, and much like her player, seems to have ADHD. So she's pretty young, and she's been sent out from her tree that she cares for to collect stories to tell the tree, because in her family there's a tradition of each of the young ones going out, having all these adventures, and then when they're older or when they're coming back to rest, they'll come back and they'll impart all the knowledge and these stories to the tree, so the tree can hold, be this place of kind of like a library but in a living tree. So she kind of started out, quite prepared to run into the path of lava in order to see the explosion so she could describe and draw it accurately for a tree, forgetting that perhaps maybe she's not flameproof. But she's a little bit more wise now because she's been with this group for a while. When you see her, she's tall for an elven. And what you'll actually see is she looks like she's wearing a dragon helmet. It looks like a white dragon. But upon closer inspection, you'll see that the tips of the horns of the dragon helmet have black scales, and there's these odd other coloured scales on the helmet. And then she kind of looks almost like a mismatch between a druid and a warrior, in the sense that she's got mostly like flutes and books and all those sorts of things hanging off around her, but she's got these odd weapons as well around her. She's kind of become a little bit more of a weapons person, even though she started off as this journaler, story keeper type. But when she comes up to you, she's like really approachable. Despite the very fierce looking helmet, she's always really friendly. And she'll say, hi, sort of thing. She kind of forgets that perhaps maybe some people might kill her, and tries to offer them coffee instead, which has worked for her in the past though, so I think that describes me.
Okay, so how old is Shigi?
She's about 120.
About 120. Okay, so still very young for an elf.
Yeah.
You do recognize Thala from your clan, one of the elven children chosen to follow in the Tree Keepers.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't really stay with the family, was basically brought up by the shamans of the clan. But she is one of your clan members, not that. She recognises most of the rest of the clan, having spent most of the time with the trees.
So I'd recognise him as a fellow clan member?
Not as well.
Okay.
As I was saying, you would recognise, he would recognise you more than you recognise him.
Is it wrong for me to say at this point that you should have a faithful animal right now called Scooby?
I should have an animal called what?
Scooby.
Scooby?
Yes.
As in like a Great Dane?
As in like a Great Dane.
Because your name sounds like Shaggy.
Because you're a sheep.
Oh, Shaggy, right, okay.
Instead of Scooby, it should
Yeah, I'm the sharpest tool in the shed right now, I tell you.
We all have that problem at night.
Okay. Well, Farla, long time no see.
And so how your character got here was you'd been approached by a dragonborn who you've known who likes to dabble with time travel.
Say that again, who was
He likes to dabble with time travel.
Right.
So he's technically 12 years old, but he's managed to stick himself into many moments in history.
So we're talking about Drazzle the Dragonborn.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
And so you've spent a bit of time with him and learned that he's quite strange, doesn't talk normally, and generally gets people to help out to make sure things turn out a certain way. So
Gandalf.
So last time you remembered sleeping in your own bed, and you woke up on the causeway nearby with a place that has blood seas, no real sky, no stars or any form of constellations, and huge tentacles rivaling out of the water besides the causeway without any real intelligence behind them.
Man, Drazzle really screwed you over.
And a little note going, you should check out the castle, Drazzle.
Okay. Well, she's walked the world for about 30 years, so that's probably the last time you saw, or Farla saw Chiggy, was when he left the clan, joined a monastery, and then went walking. So he's happy to go and check the castle out, because it's just on his journey. It's all part of the circle of life.
So you are about 20 years older than Thala. So that's about the age difference between your two characters.
Okay.
As soon as I find out that we share the same clan, I give you a big hug.
Not used to personal contact after 30 years walking the world. I'm sort of like freaked out a little bit.
Darla doesn't realise it, but she also one of those people who hugs people in such a way that most people, even if they don't like hugs, are just kind of like, look, I'm just going to accept this because it's going to be like certain a
Just go with it.
Yeah. Basically, if you were to shove her away, she'd look like a puppy who you'd hit. So, you know, most people are like, it'll be over in a second, and then she'll leave.
And anyone who's needed healing from Drazzle realise that's how Drazzle heals people.
Thala too, but yeah.
So Drazzle is a cleric, and he only heals with cuddles.
I learned from the best.
Which having an 8 foot tall reptilian creature with wings cuddling you can be a bit intimidating.
I'm not like that.
Okay, so
will we fill Shiggy in on what's been going on?
I think that's Zal's position, because Zal seems to be the one everything seems to be.
Yeah. I was gonna shift to Zal if you said yes.
I guess a brief overview of what we've done currently while we've been here, and a brief sort of a thing of you know who we are and what we're trying to do, and also say there's kind of no point hiding who you are here because the master of the house kind of know already, basically.
So you might actually want to give the player a bit more of a heads up.
Yeah, the player.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a vampire. Or at least we think he's a vampire. We presume he's a vampire because we got warned that this was a portal network or a necromantic portal network that was possibly controlled by a really ancient vampire, if not the first vampire. Is that correct, Martin?
That's correct.
That's what Saladin
said. And also is supposedly according to him related to me, but I haven't really verified that yet. And we're also looking for the portal out of here. So.
And true to Zal's nature, she hasn't mentioned our main reason for coming here, which is why Cheval's a bit disappointed. We're supposed to be trying to find out whether It starts with A. The country.
Alphatian Empire.
If the Alphatian Empire is or is planning on using this network of portals to invade Galantry, and if we believe that's so, either report back to our employer, who is a space god called Redrian, although he's not known as a space god here, he's just known as a guy who pays people to do shit.
As the investigation bureau, which your character might know about or is part of, question mark?
I would say you've been paid by some merchant out of Durrican to investigate and travel. So you get paid to travel and look into things.
We're spies.
Okay.
So our main reason for being here is to figure out, is this a network being used by Alphasia? But because Zal is really interested, her background, she's lost her parents, she's really interested in her family's history, this is like the perfect opportunity, and probably the only opportunity for her to get information about that. So we don't mind her doing that at the same time, because we love Zal. Well, Chauvel doesn't love Zal, but we do.
Oh yeah, and then technically I'm related to Chauvel. Long story.
Okay.
And don't worry, it's one of those things where the family of one was killed by the backstory of the other.
Was that
First, it
Cheval's?
wasn't in Zal's favor.
So Cheval killed Zal's parents?
Yep.
Okay, alright.
Executed them for a crime they didn't commit.
Wow. Forgot about that.
I didn't.
Yeah, so you kind of wonder why these two people travel together, but yeah, it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Alright.
And to make things even more interesting, the Zal's carrying around the spirit of his father in the shape of a skull, and the spirit of his mother in the shape of an arrow, that lets him know whenever he touches it exactly where the Chauvel's heart is located in position to where they are. So whenever Zal touches the arrow, he knows where Chauvel's heart is, and Chauvel knows that the arrow is being touched and which direction it's being touched from.
I guess the implied threat there is that were Zal to knock said arrow, the arrow would find Chauvel's heart. Is that the deal?
That's what's believed.
I think from memory is if Chauvel even gets scratched by that particular arrow, he dies instantly. Like no rolls, no saves. He's just straight up dead. It doesn't. So I've used this arrow to kill other creatures. It doesn't just home in on Chauvel. I would have to actually like aim for Chauvel and hit him with all the appropriate.
Do you believe you have advantage to hit Chauvel?
I think that the arrow in itself gives advantage to the roll anyway, regardless of whether I'm aiming at Chauvel. So there's that too. But yes, it doesn't quite look right. It kind of glows a little bit, and it's also next to this, as Martin said, this drift globe that has a very unusual skull in it, and it's red instead of being like a normal, what you would perceive a normal drift globe color to be, being probably like a yellowy color or something like that.
And you're also finding these midgets to be quite interesting, considering the humans are between 4 and 5 feet tall in general.
And I think so Zal's like just only past 5 foot, so like I'm kind of
Tall for an Ethengarian.
Average for a human?
That's tall.
Oh, that's tall, is it? Oh, okay.
And most of them are about 5 feet or shorter.
I'm 5'1", so I'm not that much taller than average. But he's also the oldest looking in the party. So I think the character's age is actually getting towards like 40 now.
Oh my, you're gonna have to retire soon.
No, I know, right?
Alright, now that we've had introductions, I don't suppose Drazzle gave you any clues as to what we're supposed to do down here?
He did not.
No clues at all. Just got
Alright.
told a note saying go and check out the castle, which is why I'm here.
Back to the start then? Do you want to go down instead this time?
Do we want to go down or do we want to check out that floating beating heart thingy again?
The beating heart was
Okay.
interesting. Why don't we go look at it?
I thought we wanted to go up. Yeah.
Well, we were up, but we were finding nothing. We're finding empty rooms with defensive positions. So the question is do we want to go and find more empty rooms? Or do we want to try going down instead? Or as Zal suggested, go to the most interesting thing we've seen so far and check it out with more detail.
Well, as I just arrived, I'm happy to go wherever you guys want to go.
I gather Imni doesn't really want to go back to the heart.
Just in case you doesn't remember, you are on mute. I mean, the heart was interesting, and we didn't really get to.
We didn't go and look at it.
No.
You wanted to follow the organ music, which is the only reason we're left.
Yes, but as Zal hopes, it probably wasn't going anywhere.
No. It doesn't look like it was. Whereas Cheval seemed to sense something about the heart, so it seems to suggest we should probably check that out. But I'd absolutely get it if Imni didn't want to, because she was getting affected by it a lot, as was our absent player.
Yes.
Yodrick.
I don't want to go near it. I don't want to go near
Would
it.
it be worth casting the protection from good and evil on Imni
I
so
could
she
do
can
that.
get near it? Because I wasn't getting affected by the heart when I had that protection on, so maybe that might put Imni at ease.
Imni, would you like me to cast protection from good and evil on you if we go and check out the heart?
Okay. I'd like that.
I'd do that then.
Okay.
Do I have to roll for protection from good and evil?
No.
You are now protected from good and evil. You cannot party or have fun, but neither can you die. Well, actually, you might be able to die, but it won't be because of evil purposes.
Okay. And we're not really partying or having fun, so that probably doesn't really count anyway.
Sorry, that was a joke on Thala's side.
Okay.
You know, you're protected from good stuff.
Sol gives a chuckle, he thought it was funny.
Okay, leading back into the chapel, you turn and realize that the archway you went through is not there anymore.
Okay. What is there?
Stone wall.
I poke it.
It doesn't poke back.
Doesn't move. Solid.
Seems to be solid.
I investigate for a way through.
Okay, give me
What language can Zal swear in? Probably all of them.
Okay, you managed to swear in all the languages you know at the same time to everyone's surprise.
Awesome.
And you're a bit shocked too that you managed to say 10 to 20 different languages in just a few sentences.
Yep. So kind of look at myself and I go, huh. Alright. Interesting.
22.
Good to know.
Looks as if this wall's always been here, and there's no footprints leading up to it.
Does anyone else want to check out the wall?
Zal will walk up to it and kind of like touch it, see if it's real.
Isn't this what happened before though? That once you go through a portal, then it disappears and you can't go back.
It does happen occasionally. Some castles do change as you move through it. So, could Zal give me a either a perception or investigation roll, depending on how you're trying to find the door.
I did perception.
We'll investigate.
Okay.
I mean, they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. But
Not
I
for
will
me,
use
but yeah.
investigation.
One's more of a hands-on roll.
If I wanted to investigate hands-on, would I do another roll? Or...
You could, but we'll let Zal do it first.
16?
And I'll say to Khan, I think we can hear you eating on the other end.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
All good. I just could hear it straight through the mic, that's all.
Mm.
The reason I can tell is that the thing lights up with their name.
Okay.
So, what did Zal get on your check?
16.
16. You're checking the wall out thoroughly, and no matter how you check the wall out, it appears to be the same as any other part of the wall here.
Zal steps forward and blasts the wall. No, I'm kidding.
I like fireball wall. No, I really won't do that, Martin. Just FYI, that was a joke.
Okay, I'll let you make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright.
Your character currently does have impulse control issues.
Really?
In this place, yes.
Alright, at least I rolled well for that though, so...
Here, throw my dice.
24.
24. Okay, you have these images of... Just Zal has to do the impulse control.
Oh, I'm getting ready to do an investigation check, so...
Okay, so you have images of the wall exploding in flame and debris as you throw a fireball at it, but you decide that's probably not a great idea before your friend's standing beside you.
I kind of I step back and I wonder why I keep getting these weird flashes of not quite memory, but just really strong emotions.
Right, and as you ponder that, you do hear some spooky music in the background.
Oh, fantastic.
So, Thala goes and investigates the wall.
I find nothing. It's +2 on my investigation, right? Yeah, nothing. Not a damn thing.
Thala struggles to find the wall, with all the giggling she's having at your look on your face.
I had another question. I can't phase step if I remember the area on the other side. I can only phase step if I can see it.
Well, that's assuming that there is an area on the other side.
Can I try and knock?
You could try a knock spell, but it would take you 10 minutes. Are people happy for you to wait 10 minutes to see if you can magically open the wall?
Or do you mean literally knock on the wall?
No,
physically?
knock spell.
I'll knock spell. Nah, it's probably not worth it.
Really? You guys don't want to stand here for 10 minutes? You could go exploring, I don't mind.
Yeah, but if we do that, we have a higher chance of losing you to another thing like this happening. If this moves around and then shifts.
You may. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, no, if it shifts around, we'll lose you, and we'll probably never see you again ever.
That's what I was going to say. We don't want to never see you again.
It's 10 minutes, guys.
10 minutes is a long time. And we saw how quickly this place shifts.
I disagree. Apparently we came here and found out 1 minute equals X hours. So 10 minutes in this place is probably only 2.
Still doesn't mean that we don't have to sit through 10 minutes of this time for you to cast that magic.
Absolutely.
But...
For probably not much gain.
I thought knock was an actual spell.
It is,
It is.
but you don't always have spells. You have difference between ritual and non-ritual spells.
Yeah, I thought I got it. I'm just looking for it. Because I don't know I had to, maybe I did last time I did knock.
I'm pretty sure the last time Zal had to cast knock, he also
Had to wait 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you're all right, but I just wanted to double check.
Because I'm pretty sure I have knock as well, and I cast it as a ritual cast instead of as a slot, because I hadn't prepared it for that day.
Yeah, I really should get into this routine where I say I've prepared this, this, and this for that day.
The thing is, while knock is really powerful, it's not something I've only used it once. And I don't think using it on a perceived solid wall is going to be particularly useful. Though in saying that, the last time I dissuaded you from doing something, I got proved wrong. So, you know,
Exactly.
Zol doesn't know anymore.
Mostly what's motivating Thala to be more determined is that we went through this way and now it's closed off. And she also mentioned to Illusion vampire guy that she was curious about the heart thing, and now she's been prevented from getting to it. Then there was the fact that Cheval wanted to investigate it but couldn't because we went to go follow the organ music, which turned out to be nothing. So
Well, it didn't turn out to be nothing. We met the owner of the
Yeah.
castle and got food.
And
Well-
Zol got a magnificent meal and drink.
we met an illusion of the owner of this place, which might not be accurate to the actual owner of this place, and you got food.
But he has cool swishy cape. I mean, come on.
Cool swishy
we
cakes
don't-
are...
We don't even know if the food is going to have an effect on you either.
I know I have knock, but I can't see it.
I mean, it could be what is causing Zal to have impulse control at the moment, but probably none of that is realized by the characters.
Yeah, we won't realise that yet, but that's why Imni didn't touch the food. She was very, very suspicious of it.
Well, you are in the Fey Wild, or say the Fey Dark as it's called.
Absolutely, and Fae anything. You don't eat or drink anything in the Fae world.
And you don't accept gifts or obligations.
That's true. Why can't I see knock on here? Because I know I used it for the spaceship. I hate that I get lost in these pages.
That's why I'm trying to fix up a new one for you.
Oh yeah, I don't mean that.
Okay, so
Wasn't it Zal who used the knock for the spaceship?
both of you
Was
did.
the
Both
opening
of
the
us
door?
did.
So does sorry, Shigi have any words of wisdom for them here, as you are the wise monk of the group?
It's not often I hear that. Yes, I think we should just, if we can't get through this wall, if you say the wall has changed and still different, I think we need to move on. Because the sparrow only flies when the eagle's wings have grown. I saw that on Monkey once a long time ago. I thought I'd try that out.
And I believe you'd fit in perfectly with Drussel, because that's almost the way he speaks exclusively.
Can't see knock on.
Excellent. Excellent. But it was a lot funnier in my head, I can tell you that. All right.
No, wise words of wisdom from our esteemed elf.
And the moment he finishes speaking, there is this really eerily soft laughter, sounding like it comes from elderly women surrounding in the room around you.
Elderly women.
Yep, cackling.
Are there paintings of elderly women in this corridor?
You're in the chapel, and no, there are no paintings in the chapel at all.
Huh.
Can we detect what direction they're coming from?
All around you.
All around.
Echoes work perfectly in enclosed spaces.
Fantastic.
Question.
Yep.
Can I cast Legend Lore or use Legend Lore? And how often can I do it?
Can I have a look at your sheet where you've got it?
It is second from the bottom.
Okay. So you can do that once every 24 hours.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. I shall look up the exact wording of Legend Lore for you.
Thank you.
So I get
We're
you
in
the
the
right
chapel,
lore.
right?
You are in the chapel.
Right.
Legend Lore.
Did it go everywhere?
No.
Good.
Just down.
That's fine.
Okay, so you spend 10 minutes casting a spell.
Yep.
And you pick an object, a creature, or a location.
The location, the chapel.
Okay.
I gather it can't be the whole castle.
And luckily for you, this doesn't cost you material components to do. You get that for free. Otherwise, you'll be spending 250 gold every time you cast it.
So I can't do the whole castle, I'm presuming, or could I?
You can say the castle is your location.
Okay, I'm going to go for the whole castle then.
Okay, so you learn significant information about the target.
Do I have to roll for that?
Just reading through the rest of it?
Yep.
Okay, so as you get the spell off, you instinctively know this is Zal's ancestral castle.
Right.
This is... the castle itself used to sit in the region that is now known as Karamikos over 3,000 years ago.
Wow. So it's a very old castle.
And has since been moved to the Feydark.
Right. Which is where we are.
Mm-hmm. And to be perfectly honest, probably about a quarter of the humans of the region you come from are probably related to the inhabitant of the castle.
I informed Zal she's not special.
But only a couple of them carry the bloodline.
I informed Zal I was wrong, she actually is special. To me.
Zal kind of looks at you really perplexed. Like, what on earth have you just taken?
I explained to her what legend lore is, and that it is a druid power that I've put a lot of time and effort into learning.
And that there is a portal back to the material world in the basement.
And that we need to go down to the basement where we can find our portal home.
I'm glad you added to the basement.
I don't suppose it will help me with any other information about the type of people here.
It does not.
Okay, cool. That's fine. However, I will add that although the portal might be down, it could be that we can explore this place because we've still got a few 100 hours until we have to leave.
Legend lore doesn't give you any information you don't already know.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Sorry, doesn't give you information you already know.
Yeah.
So if you already know something and you cast it, it's not going to tell you that's something you've already been told.
Okay. So have we already been told stuff about the people?
You had. Such as that there was a vampire here.
Right.
And details about that vampire.
Well, we don't know exactly the details. I want to know his motives, but I'm going to have to probably wait until tomorrow to do legend lore on the vampire.
Actually, you know what? I am going to try something.
Yep.
I am going to get out my book.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to find a empty page and I'm going to start writing. And once Zal's finished writing, he sort of sits there and waits expectantly.
So which book are you writing in?
My book.
Okay, that book.
Yeah, that book.
How to do CPR with book. Step 1.
Smack the person
body
in the
with
chest.
book.
No. I already know how to do that.
So Zal refers to this book as a good book and uses it to heal people by hitting them with it. Just so Khan is up to date with what the book does.
Cool.
You notice it doesn't kind of look right. It's like dark, leather bound, with a raven on the cover. Otherwise, kind of.
What's that knocking?
That's...
I'm making a joke to Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay.
The Raven.
The Raven, okay. I don't know it that well, so I'm glad. So, as you finish writing in the book, some words appear underneath your writing saying, "Welcome home."
Interesting. I write, I am home. Where do I need to go?
Okay, so after you write that, a few new words appear saying, wherever you like.
Okay. Let's go exploring.
I suggest we go down to the basement and find the portal home first.
Well, the problem with that is we get down there and the place might shift again. So I'd say that is the last port of call.
Okay.
Potentially.
So you all keep talking about the plane shifting. Is this castle changing on us?
So far, only one archway seems to have changed, if I'm remembering correctly.
That is correct.
And I
So
still
we're
want to cast
not
Knock.
entirely sure.
I can't find the rules for it.
This archway closed off because we wanted to go back to investigate something, but maybe the owner of the castle doesn't want us to do that. Right?
Maybe you should write in your book, why can't we visit the heart?
I mean, I could try it. I was like, can we see the heart again? Question mark.
It was pretty
Okay, so
scary.
give me a charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
So it wouldn't have taught us anything about the heart, the legend lore.
It did not.
22.
22. Okay. So as you ask it to show you the heart, everything around you starts to fade, and you see before you 4 hearts floating in the air, beating in different rhythms. But one of them glowing with a unearthly light, and you get the words "Paladin" seared into your brain.
Okay.
Seems like it's showing you our hearts.
Ah, maybe it is.
Well, why else would one scream Paladin at her? And at least we know who the Paladin is to her core.
It's literally the paladin.
Paladin.
And everyone else gets this very uneasy look as you see Sal's face. Eyes start to go reddish in colour.
Is this kind of like when she
as-
picked up the mace?
Much like that, as he's looking in all your directions.
I've cast protection from good and evil on Imni. Does she get overlooked?
She does not.
Okay.
She's protected from mind-affecting influences, not from vision.
Oh, fair enough.
So if Zal was to try to compel Imni to do something, Imni would be protected.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Interesting. Do I kind of realize that, well, like, obviously I realize that I'm getting shown the paladin's heart.
And the other characters' hearts at the same.
And the other character's hearts as well. Okay, so not quite what I intended, but it's still interesting nonetheless.
So you get to watch them beat.
Do any of them look in the same shape or kind of glow as the one we saw before?
Okay, give me a insight roll as you look.
Insight. $27.
27. So, none of them seem to be in the shape of the crystalline heart you saw, but you can obviously tell which one's Imni by the size of it being the smallest of the 3 hearts there. and apparently is also the one that is most appealing to you right now.
Okay, interesting.
You're getting hungry.
Can we can see that she's going all red and funny, right?
Well, the eyes are going red, yes.
Okay. Am I able to move between Imni and Zal?
And apparently one of the hearts moves closer to you as if it's offering itself up.
That's fine.
I kind of,
But it's not as appealing. It doesn't have that meaty flavour to it.
I kind of take a step or two back and kind of blink my eyes and shake my head.
Okay, so you sort of see these shadowy forms around these beating hearts now.
I blink furiously for like a minute.
Okay, I'll give you another charisma saving throw.
Well, he hasn't asked us to roll initiative yet, so. Famous last words.
Yes, natural 20. Second level was 26.
Okay, so as you look, you see colour seem to go back into the bodies as you're staring at them.
The dice aren't trying to kill you right now.
But you can.
My dad's being really nice to me today.
But your eyes do seem to focus on the next, where you see this throbbing to what you saw of their heartbeat.
I'm gonna just try and ignore that for a little while.
Not creepy at all.
No, not creepy at all. Don't enjoy it at all. Or do I?
Well, your character might have enjoyed it,
That's up to you, I think.
but unfortunately, you chose to abstain.
Alright, I think we should.
And so it's all kind of stutters over his words as he says, like, shall we go?
Yeah. I'm going to wait to be the last to leave the room. And if that mace is still there, I'm going to stick it in my pack.
Okay. Where you had said you were going to do that at one point, so you do it this time.
Yep.
So yes, you now have a mace in your pack.
Yep.
Right, you head back to the main area where they had the stairs down.
I'm presuming Zal's in the lead since she's the one who wants to explore.
Sure.
Take us to your leader.
I'm happy to head down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Sure. Everyone wants to go down. Let's go.
Well, we don't have to go straight to the basement. This place has already shown that there's multiple passageways everywhere.
That's true. That's true. We'll go down.
Okay, so as you start going down, the stairs descend into black still water that fill an arched hallway before you. The water surface is like dark mirrored glass, disturbed occasionally by a thwack of a drop falling from the ceiling. 20 feet ahead, arched doorways lead down from each side of the hallway. In each arched doorway, an iron door stands closed and partially submerged. You hear a weak cry for help from beyond the south door.
Well, Darla wants to go there, but how deep is the water?
Well, you don't know because you can't see the bottom.
Okay.
I've got a quarterstaff, so I'll sort of stick that in there and just try and gauge how deep it is.
Great idea. I was just going to say, I get my staff and see how deep it is, but I'm happy for you to do that.
Okay, so you'd say the water is about 3 feet deep, more than half the height of most of the party, except for the elves.
I'm happy to carry Imni on my shoulders.
Zal us dancing lights so we can see.
Okay, so as what color lights do you light up?
Red.
Okay, so as
Really?
the red light lights up, you see the water before you turn to a crimson red color to match the light.
You just had to keep making it creepy.
Yep.
Did you say? So we've come down the stairs. It's partly submerged,
Mhm.
and then there's these iron doors.
So there's a hallway that goes along, and then there's partly submerged iron doors either side of the hallway.
And the voice that's yelling for help is coming
From the one to the left.
Okay, yep. So how far do we have to go in the water to get to that door?
That's what I'm trying to look the map up for, because
Thanks.
like everything here, it's in many different places. Okay, so you think you have to go about 15 feet?
Okay. Who wants to go first? I'm happy to go first, but if, say, I don't know, the paladin who's got all the tank hit points wants to go first.
Said he was rushing anyway.
Okay, alright. Well, I'm right behind the paladin.
Okay.
Sorry. Does the paladin's armor glow?
Yeah.
Well, it's more the paladin himself, herself glows.
Right. Okay. Does it cast a bit of light, does it?
Not much.
Not enough to see by.
Enough to see the paladin in darkness, not enough to see by the paladin.
And hence why I cast dancing lights.
Alright.
I knew where I was going. Dark vision is 60 feet.
Okay, so you reach the metal door, and it is seems to be locked and partly submerged in water.
Wait, it's locked and partially submerged in water.
It is. And as you get to the door, you realise it's submerged 5 feet into water.
Can I do...
So the water's getting deeper as we go down the corridor.
The two doors are lower in the water than the corridor itself,
Okay.
which you didn't realise until you walked towards the door and went down steps. Because you can't see the bottom.
Is there a visible lock?
Not above the waterline.
Okay.
Can I do control water?
You could.
I'd like to do control water and then create a 20-foot wide trench spanning the area with walls of water to either side. I'd like to be standing in front of the door and once all my group are with me, create the walls on either side of us so that the door is completely clear.
Okay. Just checking to see how long it will take you to cast that one.
It says one action. There's no ritual on it at
It'll
all.
take one action to cast.
So I'm guessing it's a d20.
No roll.
Oh, no roll.
Spells generally don't require rolls unless asked.
Okay, cool. So we can see the whole door. I don't suppose you have any lock breaking abilities, Shiggy, sorry.
I've got a crowbar, which I can probably try and pry it open, but I don't have any lockpicks or anything like that.
Okay, so...
I'm pretty sure none of us have lockpicks aside from maybe your dream.
And as you watch, you see the blood red water drain away, and that the door itself has no visible lock on it, but it seems to be very rusted.
Okay.
Who's the strongest?
I'm going to have to lock my crowbar out and give it a go. I'm not overly strong. I'm quite tall compared to everybody, and thin. So giving it a try to wrench that open, I might need some assistance, I think.
Well, you get to make an athletics check to see if you can do it on your own.
I was going to say I'd be happy to help if needed.
Okay.
I've got a strength of +4.
Alright. Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Okay, so the modest elf says, I might need some help, as he wrenches the door open with the crowbar.
Nice job.
Alright.
Well,
Okay,
they used
sorry.
to people being understated on their stuff, but that was completely understated.
Does that mean you step back and Cheval's first in the door?
Well, I can. What can I see?
Inside, you can see a rush of blood red water coming towards you because it wasn't taken away by the lower water spell.
Okay.
And rushes into your space, and you find yourself submerged about 4 feet into water.
Okay, so
Alright.
not submerged, but surrounded by 4 feet of water.
And you can hear a voice calling out from what appears to be a cell nearby. And you see 8 different cells coming off that room. And each of them has bars across it with a lock that's partly that is now dripping from the water level falling below the level of the lock.
Okay. I'm happy to go in. Does everyone else want to come in? Anyone
Yep.
else want to come in?
Pretty sure it's
Yeah,
probably...
Imi will come in.
We'll all
Alright.
follow you in unless they say no.
Yeah, well,
Okay. All right, so I'll step in.
Okay,
I'll step in.
you all sloshing into the room.
Sorry, I was going to say step in and start inspecting the cells, try and locate the.
Before we commit ourselves to the rule, to the decision, I'm going to stand in the doorway to make sure that thing doesn't damn shut on us.
Okay.
Good idea, but just be careful it doesn't cut you in half. or
Yeah,
something.
well, you know, if Martin wants to kill me tonight, he kills me tonight. And if he kills me by putting a door through me rather than me doing something heroic, trust me, he's not going to hear about it for the rest of the fortnight.
I'm not going to hear about it. Good.
He's not going to stop hearing about it for the rest of the fortnight.
Well, that
maybe
sounds
for
worse.
the rest of the month. And if you think his coffee supply is steady right now, it is just going to dry right up like I wish this room would. Oh, except for that small flaw in that plan, the support workers know how to use the coffee machine, so he could get around it when they're here.
Just
Well-
like,
Sorry, the door hinges. Is that the inside or the outside?
The hinges are on the outside because that stops the prisoner from being able to manipulate it.
That's okay. I'll stand guard at the door just in case.
The hinges to the cells are on the outside.
All right, but for the door, can we just pop the hinges and just take the door off?
You can.
The reason
That way
why
you
I'm
could-
standing in the doorway, Shiggy, is because the archway that formed into a wall, I'm hoping that my presence in the doorway means that a wall just doesn't suddenly appear here blocking us getting out. Now that doesn't
Okay.
mean that in the corridor a wall might not appear and stop us from getting out, but I want to not be suddenly stuck in a set of jail cells. I want to at least have a corridor to get into. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Okay. So you see in the first of these prison cells nearby, a dark skin looks like he's more Traldaran than Ethengarian with his dark skin. Because the Ethengarians normally are a lighter colour than the darker colours of the traditional Traldarans.
So Ethengarians are like olive skinned and Traldarans tend to be darker.
Yep.
Sound like interesting people. Name like Traldaran.
Well, they are the descendants of the Egyptian style people.
So like Salagar?
Zalagar would be more of an ancestral one, but maybe similar to him, yes.
Yeah, okay, alright. So we would possibly, having seen and met Salagar as being like an ancient Traldaran, we would kind of see features about this person that suggested he was the same, from the same sort of people.
He does have very similar things, though he is completely shaved on the top of his head. Bald and shiny. Especially considering he's been dipped in the liquid for quite a while.
And I know I'm not right in the room there, but because I got such a bad memory, Salagar didn't mention that he was missing someone or that he lost anyone in all of that stuff that he was giving us.
He did not, but
yeah, okay.
you did learn that the blood of a relative had to be taken with unwilling for it to actually work for you to get back to your world.
Okay, alright. And that might be relevant in the sense of this Troldaran being here.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have to roll insight, that's fine. Would I get a clue that you're inferring that Salagar might have unwillingly taken the blood of this bloke to get home? Or
He was never here.
He was never here. Oh, okay. All right.
No, I was saying that you learned to get back when you spoke to the gods, not to Zelagar, that you needed the blood of a relative taken unwillingly to get home.
Okay, all right. I just thought
Zelagar was a reference you made.
I was wondering if this was related to the Troldaran that's here now.
Quite possibly.
Okay.
You just don't know how.
Okay.
Unless you want the GM to tell you all the information.
No. That's why.
Sorry, I'm just getting a bit frustrated.
That's why I was
waiting for everyone else to
I've
chime
lost
in.
sound. I'm going to have to log out and log back in.
All good.
I was just trying to remember some things and
Yeah.
get them straight in my head.
So, I believe it's over to M and
Josh
and
Khan.
Khan. Because the elf's in the doorway, because Tharla's in the doorway not doing anything at this stage.
Yeah, I'm happy to go check the cells out.
Okay.
I'll try and get this, speak to this person. Hello?
He greets you in a very old language.
Okay.
So say, what languages do you have?
Well,
How do we understand him asking for help if he speaks Urdu?
Well, he does greet you in an old language, and you do understand it because it is related to words reused in the modern languages.
So perhaps he sounds like someone from England where, he uses thee and thy, say, but you understand he means you and me.
And he says his name is Emil Turanescu,
Right.
whereas you recognize the name Turanescu is a common Karamikian name for the Troldaran people.
okay, how long have you been here?
He does not know because the sun has never risen.
And we're underground.
He does not get hungry and he does not age.
Oh. Must be good for the weight loss. Okay.
He has not had any weight loss or gain since he's been here.
Okay. What brought you here?
A vampire, he says.
Oh.
He was taken from his camp in the middle of a forest and woke up in the dungeons, and about once every now and then, he has no idea how long because he doesn't have a passage of time, someone comes and takes some of his blood.
So he's the unwilling person helping a relative get through the portal. So whoever's trapped him here is a relative. Can you spell the name?
Emil.
And did you give a...
Toranescu.
Turanescu. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Well, I think we should get him out. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
All right. The visible lock on the door.
There is a
On the
visible lock
cage,
on the
gate.
There is a visible lock. It is in the shape of a wolf's mouth.
Oh. Okay. Hinges on the outside.
Hinges on the outside, and the cage itself is made out of silver.
Interesting.
Oh. Okay. So, assuming the vampires are real, would I be metagaming if I say werewolves are real and this guy could be possibly being kept in a cage full of silver, made of silver.
You would not. It would either protect
okay.
him from werewolves, or it would hold a werewolf. So in either way, it might help. There's also stories of how vampires are affected by silver as well, so he could be a vampire. And that the Traldaran people who he seems to come from are well known for their vampirism and lycanthropy.
Oh.
We should cast insight on this shit.
Okay, yeah, just do that. Insight on whether or not he's my...
Is that a spell?
I'm not very insightful though.
Oh, okay.
You could use you could roll for your insight if you wish to.
I can't see him. I'm in the doorway, so yeah. It would have to be one of the.
Actually,
I missed all that because somehow I turned you guys' sound off and I couldn't work out how to turn it on just then.
Okay, so we've come across a guy to sell. He seems to be an ancient-ish Troldaran. In fact, he's an older
There's a nice picture
Troldaran.
of him there.
Okay.
Whose race is known to have a history of vampirism and lycanthropism. Nice picture. He's reported that he's been in the cage for he doesn't know how long, but occasionally he gets taken out.
No, he doesn't get taken out.
Occasionally someone comes and collects some blood from him. Martin did mention, as a kind of clue, that he reminded us that part of the way of getting in and out of this place is taking the blood of an unwilling donor.
That was getting out of this place, not getting in.
Oh, getting out of this place. So it could be that this guy is like an unwilling donor to somebody, or there's a vampire drinking his blood every now and then, but only taking it from him and drinking it later or something. It just seems to make more sense that he's an unwilling donor. Kana's character has noticed that the cell is made out of silver, so we're now questioning, well, is he telling a true story that he's just a poor innocent jailed guy being abused for his blood, or is he in fact a vampire or a werewolf, or he could be both. He could be a werewolf that's been trapped in here and having his blood taken unwillingly. So Khan is just rolling insight to see whether or not he can tell if the guy in the cage is telling the truth. The guy in the cage's name is Emil. Is that everything?
That is everything you need to know.
Oh, thank God.
So what was your insight roll?
yeah, it was a 1.
It was a 1. What would you like to believe?
I wanted to first determine one if he could be a vampire and or werewolf.
So,
and whether he's
as a player, what does your player believe?
my player. Oh, what does my player? My character. What do I believe? Or,
What do you believe? And then that's what your character suddenly believes at this stage.
Yeah,
Whether it's true or not, it's
you-
what your character believes.
Because you rolled a 1, if you believe he's a fairy, he's a fairy.
God, he's the first ever campaign's werepire.
I'm hoping, like, maybe Sal and Cheval and Imni might also be questioning this guy's motives and things like that, and they don't let you just unlock the door on him. But if that happens, I'm ready to fight.
Well, I was inclined to let him out before I rolled, so I think I'm just more stronger in that belief that he's a poor victim, and that the person who put him in the cage has obviously got more money than brains because they made a cage out of silver where they could have done a cutlery out of it or something.
Yeah, no, that's appropriate to a 1 roll.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not unlike other players who have created creatures that didn't exist previously that I've then made law based on their character making it up.
I was going to say, you should make Josh's knight and decide he's a werepire.
Bob Jack.
Oh, Love Jack. That's it. Got it. Been so long.
Very good old Bob Jack.
And that's what whenever you do a critical failure, I try to make it interesting.
Although, Josh, I think I prefer the term vamp wolf.
Nah, werepire.
But aren't all vampires werepires? Because they can all turn into animals?
Got a point.
And they can all infect you? So yes, how are you going to unlock the door?
Pop the hinges.
No one's
Okay.
going to intervene?
Looking at the hinges, they don't seem to be easy to pop. They are put in such a way that you're actually going to have to break the door to get the hinge out.
Okay. Yeah, go. Sorry, mate.
I was about to say, does Cheval suspect anything suspicious with this person? just
Does
being-
Zal ever not suspect anything suspicious?
Did you say
That's a good
Cheval.
point.
Cheval, yes. Give me an insight roll and I'll give you advantage because you think everything's suspicious.
Beautiful. Insight is.
And then he rolls 2 1s.
Yeah, pretty much.
And don't be surprised that's not the first time that's happened.
Inside wisdom.
Ooh. It's not the best, but anyway, cool. That's good. I rolled highest is an 11.
Okay, he's obviously suspicious. He's in a cell. He's done something wrong. They'd never put a person who's not done something wrong in a cell.
I rolled an 8 and a 9.
You do come from a law-giving society and belief system where only the people who have broken the law are punished or imprisoned.
But I would say on all of our adventures, Cheval's come across more than
He
one
has, but he rolled badly.
badly imprisoned
I did roll
person.
badly.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so I'm probably on the opposite end, like this guy must stay in his cage. Probably not taking into the fact, like, you know, we're in a different dimension at this point in time.
God, please don't let Thala be able to hear this argument. I'll come in, roll inside, get a 1.
The paladin arguing with himself.
So you see the paladin arguing with the monk about the righteousness of letting the guy out to leaving him imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Me or
Okay.
Zal?
Everyone does.
Okay. Does Zal or Imni want to do anything?
Imni's on mute, so Imni's not responding.
Okay.
Imni is here.
Yep.
Sorry.
Imni would like to correct you on this point.
No, Imni doesn't want to do anything. She's just sort of standing back and watching what everyone else is doing.
You're not moved by the prisoner's tale?
So you don't want to free the prisoner, but you don't want to you don't want to keep him in there either. Does this mean you just want to kill him?
Yeah.
So we're
That
gonna.
was my first thought.
Okay, so
Yeah.
as you have that thought, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Protection from good and evil doesn't stop her from doing evil, does it? Okay.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay. 18 plus 2, 20.
Okay, so you don't feel compelled to try to kill this guy here, as you're feeling like you're tired of this argument. It would just be a lot quicker if the guy died. He'd still be freed. And what is Zal doing with all these discussions going on and Imni fingering her weapons?
Zal is. Did he give his name?
He did.
Emil? Sorry.
He did. It was Emil Toronescu.
Right. Can I do like an insight roll? Whether that name has come up in the family tree that I've
No roll needed. You have seen that name in the family tree. The Toronescu name in the family tree.
So
You have seen the Toronescu name in the family tree, and you know that they're mainly settled in Moldavia and Karamikos.
right, okay. So I won't open the fence quite yet, but I'll go up to him and I'll ask him. I was like, does the name Zal mean anything to you?
He shrugs and says, "Should it?"
I give him my surname as well. Does that mean anything to you?
He thinks for a bit and remind the GM what the surname you actually have is again.
Ironheim.
Ironheim. He says his wife's surname was Ironheim before they married.
Okay, so we're related, distantly. Which is what I thought, but I just wanted to double check. What was the last thing you remember before coming to this plane? Of like the normal world.
Traveling through a forest in the Traldar lands, trying to get away from a Null invasion.
Does that description ring any bells in like history?
You have heard the ballad of King Halav, who fought a Null invasion in the region now known as Karamikos many centuries ago.
Right. So I was gonna say, like, this guy's been here for a long time. In terms of like our world's time, whereas he might have been here like a few years, maybe.
Well, in terms of how long things pass in here compared to yours, he's probably been here a couple of thousand years, maybe 100,000 years.
Even in this world's time?
Because time passes faster here than it does in the other world.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So like,
you think he's about 1,000 of your standard time years old. That's how long ago he disappeared from the forests.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, what I was trying to work out was like how long he'd been here in like this world's time.
So in this world's time, he'd probably have been here maybe 100,000 years.
Oh, okay, so that'd be 100,000 years, right? Okay.
Or more.
Or more. So, how are you still alive?
He says you don't get hungry, you don't age.
So you're not a vampire, you're not a were person?
I'm not a vampire, and I'm not a what, he says?
Or like a fruit?
No, he's not any sort of shape-shifting creature, he says.
He's not an kill him.
I roll like intent, like
That's an insight roll.
The thing is that's not actually. He's just saying I'm not a shape-shifting creature. That's evading the question.
That is.
Well, that's why I'm rolling insight for that. Wow, my dice really love me today. That's like the fourth time this rolled a 19. Insight 27.
So you found he was quite direct in saying he wasn't a vampire, but he was evading the answer of was he a lycanthrope.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you're a lycanthrope. As a with confidence. And see if he starts like sweating.
I
Well,
wonder if he knows how to get out.
the picture of him looks like he's sweating.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, I didn't know Mass Winter was in the game.
So, after telling what you think to the others, do the others still want to let him out or attack him?
Does Zal want to let him out?
Evil thing in cage. I'm still standing by the fact that he should stay in the cage.
Does Zal want to let him out?
Not at the moment. He didn't answer my questions truthfully.
If anyone lets him out, Immy's just gonna hit. She's got a sword out and ready.
Isn't it lucky I have phase step?
Is that so you can run away?
No, I could touch him and phase step us 30 feet away. Tell him to run. If I wanted to. I just checked all the rules.
The thing is, he's lying. He just wants to get out. He's in there for a reason.
I'm not saying I'm gonna.
So he can kill us all.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, but I don't know that we should make quick decisions about a person who's locked in a cage, who's having the blood taken from them. They may deserve to be there, and may be better and safer for everyone if they stay there. But you got to remember, Thala is against enslavement, and it sounds like a version of enslavement. This person's been kept here for what seems to her as being the sole purpose of getting his blood regularly and unwillingly for someone to do what they want with. So that to her is a version of enslavement. So werewolf or not, she's been told that, some necromancers are good, as in, Zal was once a necromancer and her
Still
family
is.
were good.
She still is a necromancer.
Well, you know what I mean, active. Sort of, you're in a family, you're an active necromancer. It would have been wrong to kill you, and it was wrong to kill your parents.
I was actively a ranger, and then I became more actively a magic person.
Let's put it this way. You were in a necromancing family who were actively using necromancy, and they were doing it for good. And when your parents were killed, they were good people, and they probably shouldn't have been killed because they were saving a lot of lives through their work.
Yeah, did you hear that, Chavo? They were good people.
So it doesn't necessarily, for Thala, she respects all life, and so she doesn't necessarily think that just because a creature is a werewolf or a vampire that they should automatically be killed. It will depend basically on each individual situation for her. None of which she can determine right now because she's currently keeping the door open for all you guys while she listens to you arguing. I'm just about to ask the GM though is, because she's an elf, how much of this can she hear?
All of it.
Okay.
Emil does pipe in at that point saying, well, if I can weigh in on the question, if you let me out, I promise to leave you be and leave this place and never come back.
My words of wisdom are to take him at his word, and then if he proves false, chop his head off.
I support that.
Because I'm very violent.
Well, Winnie supports that too.
Right.
Right now,
So,
I'm imagining Josh and Emmy at home looking at each other going, we're on separate sides at the moment.
As usual.
We're on the same side. We're on the it's evil, it should stay in a cage.
But do we know it's evil?
I heard lycanthrope come from the failed ranger's mouth. It's
someone
evil, it stays in the
willing
cage.
to replace me while I take a look at the prisoner myself.
Zol's kind of in two minds. He's not entirely sure what we can get away with. In terms of, like, if we release him, will that bring the wrath of our host? Or would...
You should write in your book. I'm joking.
Good. But that was just alerting to what we're doing anyway, so that's why I'm into it.
Does Emil say anything else?
Well, he's waiting to see what you do.
Okay. Well, Thala's not exactly a patient person, so by now she's walked into the room and she's going to have a look at this guy and see whether or not she can decide for herself. I don't seem to have any magic abilities, but I do have a capacity to... I think it might only be with animals though. Detect faith wouldn't help here, would it?
Okay, give me a moment. So what did you want to say there, Khan?
Can anyone actually detect evil?
It's not as easy to detect evil in this world because most of it is lawful, neutral, or chaotic. Good and evil is in your acts, not in your alignment.
Right.
The only things that have set alignments are planar beings who are tied to an alignment.
Okay.
So detecting good will only work if they're doing a good act, and detecting evil will only work if they're doing an evil act, if they're mortal.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's going to help after all. I was hoping I had a spell that might help rather than just doing insight. But I'm pretty sure detect faith is just not good enough. And I don't have anything here that will make him tell the truth. So I guess I'm just going to have to go off
You can make an insight roll on what you believe.
my insight roll on what I believe. Ooh. Okay. What do I add to insight again?
You add 10.
Ooh, that's not too bad. 27.
Okay, so you believe he's very suspicious of the group and doesn't really want much to do with them besides getting let out of the cage, and that he's been in the cage for so long he just wants to get away from here.
Do I believe he'll harm us?
Only he will retaliate, but not start something, is what you believe. He's like a trapped animal. If you poke the trapped animal will retaliate.
I ask him, if I assure you that I have no intention of harming you, would you tell me a little bit of who you are before you came to be here?
He was fighting in the war against the Gnolls invading the lands. He and his wife fled, and he woke up in the cell, and he doesn't know where his wife ended up.
In your time here, have you had any talk of the use of this place as a network to aid the Ephesian army in their war?
No one talks to him. He just gets rendered immobile while someone drains him of blood.
And how will you get home if we get you out of this cage?
He'll find a way. He always finds a way.
If we keep you with us, will you help us in our quest until we can get out and you can come with us?
As long as no one attacks him, he won't attack you back.
I look to the rest of my group. Is my word and my faith good enough for you to trust me?
I want to let him out.
What about our naysayers?
They'll will agree not to harm him.
Okay.
Emmy will say, if you let him out and he's good to his word, fine, but she will be watching him. And if he does anything, then no.
And Thala says to you, I'd expect no less, good friend. She looks to her paladin and says, would this be okay with you? Like the same as what Imni said, as long as he behaves.
Cheval will take one step further and have hands sorted ready.
Oh, so as in you're going to strike them?
Oh yeah, if things go south, I'll
only if
strike.
things go south? Okay, alright. Now let's...
But I'm like peak suspicion about this person.
Look,
so
this
I'm
might
just
be-
like, hands are on my hilt right now, and I'm going to roar and slash if need be.
This might be all ahead of us. We might not be able to get them out, or if we do get them out, the vampire might appear and, interrupt our plans for helping them. I explained to Emil that the reason why I'm suggesting that he stays with us is because we are also seeking to get out, and I think he's got better chances of leaving this place if he stays with us than if he doesn't. And that, unfortunately, although I have faith in his word, some of my party members don't. They're of the more religious or the more of the experience where they've been betrayed before. So he really needs to be careful that if he is helping us in a fight, that he's helping us in a fight and not attacking us and not harming us. That understood. How do you want to get him out?
Crowbar the.
I have a suspicion it might not work, but sure, let's give that as a first go.
I can just imagine your character's like been slowly pulling this crowbar out for like the last like few minutes. Like, can I use it yet? Can I use it yet?
Yeah, can I use it yet? Yeah, let's
Actually,
let Shiggy
while the
use it.
chat's beginning, like, he's already got it inserted, so he's
Yeah,
he's
no,
ready
that's
to
okay.
go.
Yeah, that's all good. Let's go.
Okay, give me a athletics check.
Okay, that's not bad. That's a 17 plus 18.
18. You strain your muscles on this. Maybe you need to warm up a bit or ask someone else for assistance as the door doesn't seem to move.
I can assist. I don't know if I'm the strongest though. Who's the strongest in our group?
Paladin.
Yeah, I thought it might be you. I don't know if you'll help though.
It means you have to take your hand off your weapons.
No.
I thought, is there someone who's next strongest?
I was.
Well, Zal can help because I redid my stats, so I now have a strength of +4.
Or you could just go, I'll take 10 minutes, cast knock, and the door opens.
Well,
Oh,
that
okay.
or there's face step. I figured out I can use face step. Spring gives me the
But you're not sure how long it will be till you get it back again.
24. Oh yeah.
Just got to step away for 1 minute. Be right back.
So good.
Please.
All right. So
Alright, if you're happy to wait 10 minutes, I'll cast knock.
the elf is utterly
Perplexed.
speechless and offended that it's accepted that if Zal offers to cast knock, waiting 10 minutes is fine.
Does that mean that you're going to try to lock while Zal's preparing the spell?
I'm going to put my hand on him and try face step. No, I'm not going to do that because I might need face step later to get us out of trouble. I don't think I can unlock locks.
You could do an athletics check yourself.
Okay, I'll do that.
You have to add 5 to the roll.
15.
15. Nope. The other elf was correct.
Yeah,
It's a bit hard to
I was
open.
gonna say, I'd say I'm about as strong as Shiggy. Imni will go up to it and she'll do it like that.
Happy to try and use
No,
his
this is
newfound
what-
strength.
This was
Or cast knock.
well, I'd try knock first because it's quicker. Strength first because it's quicker, and then if that doesn't work, knock.
Because technically they get to have 100 goes before your spell goes off.
That's true. Can I have another go?
Well, look at it this way. If you end up saying we spend 10 minutes trying to open the door,
Yeah.
by the time the knock is ready, the door probably opens, and you're not sure if it's the spell or the strength combined that did it.
I don't have a problem trying stubbornly while Zal casts knock.
So that's 10 minutes of swearing and sweating and straining, and then the lock just pops open and the door opens.
She's good.
And
And the whole time, Thala's going to be absolutely convinced it was her and not Zal.
But hey, you got the door open between the two of you.
mean, Zal's gonna say nothing. He probably wasn't even casting the spell, just to mess with you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's absolutely acceptable and fine.
And Emil thanks you greatly for letting him out. He said there were others in the cells over time, but they stopped talking a while ago.
Check the other cells. Are they all dead or empty?
Well, nothing seems to be above the liquid.
Well, they're probably drowned, I'd guess, then.
Right, I'm back.
Well, good, they let Emil out after lots of sweating and swearing.
And he hasn't tried to drink anyone's blood or attack anyone.
No.
He has not.
Oh, sorry.
He has not yet. But he has thanked you for setting him free. And he did say that there were others in the cells nearby, but he hasn't heard from them in some time.
I'm just going to do control water and reduce the water level to see what is in the cells.
Okay, so you see after the water starts to drop, there is a bard tied by his feet in one of them. His feet were just below the water level.
Just below, yeah.
And he was tied upside down.
Oh, wow.
And there is a lute in the cell with him as well, so you can tell he was a bard. And
Can I take the lute to honour him with songs?
you can. It has been cracked, so you might need to repair it. And you see a dwarf in another one. He has a shiny battle axe next to him. And in another one, you see a pile of silvery coins that seem to shimmer in the light.
Just a pile of coins on their own.
In the cell, yes.
No body,
No body.
Is that it?
And picking one up, you can see what appears to be Zal's face on one side, and what appears to be a denomination on the other. Not that you recognise the symbology.
First with the bard, I want to see if I can find anything on him that might identify him. So, if I do take his loot, I can at least make a song with his name, or maybe return it to his family.
Well, he has tight-fitting armor. He's still very fleshy, so he probably hasn't been underwater for a terribly long amount of time.
Did he die because we were arguing over letting the meal out?
Possibly, who knows?
Please don't do that to me.
No, he looks like he's been dead for a while.
Okay, thank you.
And looking around, you also see that another one has what appears to be a wizard with a pointy wizard hat. And what appears to be 5 or 6 fang marks in the neck.
Poor wizard.
So it looks like someone made a snack out of him.
But there's nothing identifying any of them, who they are.
They have no paperwork or tattoos, but they all look very similar to Emil in ethnicity, except for the dwarf.
I might sketch each of their faces for identification's sake, just in case I ever meet anyone that's similar, but I probably won't. I think I might show them to Salagar. I'll take the loot and maybe the wizard's hat, because Salagar might be able to identify them. If someone wants the battle axe, they're welcome to have it, or the silver coins if Zal wants those. I'm not going to put a claim on those.
Looking at them, they appear to be electrum coins, not silver.
Okay. What does that mean?
They are a different type of metal.
Okay.
Worth more than silver coins normally.
Does anyone want the loot or the magician's hat?
Does it have the word wizard written on it?
It does not, but it has what looks to be faded stars on it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I don't want it, thanks.
Yeah, I'll hold on to those as long as no one wants them.
And it's a little damp at the moment too.
I'm sorry, Martin. I need to head to bed. I have to figure out what you.
All good, Josh. You go to bed, and we'll not have your paladin go almighty while you're away.
Yeah, fair enough.
What, you mean you're going to turn down the double-headed axe?
Chevelle may grab the double-handed axe if no one
You
else
have enough weapons. You're like
No.
you're like Klecto like can
She
use
doesn't.
Chevelle is very much like the Game of Thrones throne.
double-handed axe. Add to my collection.
Alright. So if no one else wants that, I'll put it down in my book as you grabbing it.
Yeah, too easy. But thanks, guys.
All
Good
good.
night.
So yes, you grabbed that.
And are you going to collect your coins, Zal, with your face on them?
I mean, it's kind of creepy, so sure, why not?
Can I have one for memento's sake?
Well, there are thousands of them. How many do you collect?
I just want one for memento's sake. I don't know what Imni wants, if anything. Or, Shiggy.
Yeah, no, Indy's not really into the coins.
Does Electrum, is it worth a lot?
Electrum's worth about 1/10 of a gold, whereas silver's
Yeah.
worth about 100th of a gold, and copper's worth 1,000th of a gold.
So you're not worth much, no I'm kidding. We can't give Zal, a self-value disorder.
Oh, she's worth enough to. Oh, he's worth enough to have his face on a coin.
That's true, which is more than I've got, so. You
But-
don't even want one Imni because it's got Zal's face on it?
I do not have an attachment to Zal, but
Ow! Burn! Poor Zal! Oh dear. Alright.
So what does Zal say to all the coins? Does Zal want to take any of the creepy coins?
I think she said, yeah, I guess I do. She might be talking to Josh.
Well, she's not on mute. She's probably not in the room.
Maybe, yeah, she might have. Just be making sure everything's okay.
Okay, so in that case, Zal can count out the coins just to remind the rest of the party. And counts out 2,100 coins.
2,099 coins. I'm just being accurate. I took one.
Well, she counts that as one.
Yeah, sorry, Mum. And someone's just let fireworks off near us, and dogs was freaking out. She's like
Poor dog.
actually shivering, like shaking. So
What
Well,
are they
it
doing
could-
letting fireworks off?
Because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
irresponsible people.
It's not even near 4th of
Fucking-
July.
it happens like every couple of weeks. It's really annoying. They let them off at the oval near us.
It's the only downside
I
to
don't know where
living
they
near
get them
a
from, but it happens like every few weeks, and we keep calling it in to like the police general, but they're long gone by the time coppers get there. So
Yeah, but if you keep calling it in, at least they'll be more invested in doing something about it.
It's still legal to buy in the Northern Territory without licenses.
The problem is that if they don't eventually catch them, they'll start doing that shit in summer and they'll start a fire.
yeah, I mean they did do it last summer. Like they did it around Christmas, and they let like a whole bunch off.
Yeah.
And for like about 2 hours, like every 20 minutes, they let 3 or 4 off, and like my poor dog was just like.
Yeah, they're a
Just
nuisance.
stressed out the whole night, and it was really like we kept pulling in, and we're like, they're sending them off again, and they go patrols out looking. And I'm like, well, clearly not looking.
Hard enough, yeah. Well, and it's not just that side of things. You know, it affects families, children, you know, shift workers. There's a lot of people affected by that kind of nuisance stuff.
And because we're so close to the oval, like it's only like, you know, like 100 meters from where we live. Like it's not very far. Well, sorry, it's probably a little further than that. It's probably like a K away from us, but like it's not that far. Like it takes 2 minutes to walk to it. So
2 minutes, that won't be a K. That'll be like half a K.
well, yeah, half a K.
It takes about
But-
7 minutes for an unfit person to walk a K and 5 to walk 5 for a fit person to walk a K. I only know that because I used to
Yeah,
time
maybe
myself.
half a K then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's not very far at all. Like it's just like from like our, you know, our entrance to our complex.
Yeah.
There's like just around the corner. There's like another entrance. That's the entrance to the oval.
I'm sorry for Yuki.
Yeah. She's not happy about it. So.
Alright, you're rich. You now have 2,099 Electrum in your name with your face on it.
Awesome.
You counted it out for everyone's amusement.
Oh no, I didn't stick around. I wandered off.
Okay, so while you're counting it out, I believe the others wandered into the other cell block.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
And I believe you would do another lower water.
Yep.
So inside here you find more piles of coins.
All with Zal's picture on them?
All with
different
Zal's
ones?
pictures on them. One pile of Electrum, one pile of Platinum.
Ooh, platinum.
One with a corpse in it, and seems to have a belt pouch, and one with a glowing sword.
Glowy sword? That sounds fun. Do you want a glowy sword, Imni?
What kind of sword?
It is a short sword, it appears to be.
Oh, sorry, I
Short
forgot
sword.
you were added to our team. My apologies.
That's okay. If no one wants the short sword, I'd be very happy with the short sword.
Okay, you pick up the short sword. You can feel it hum in your ear with a very pleasing tune.
Uh-oh.
With a pleasing tune.
It does have a pleasing tune.
Oh, cool.
And
No, not cool.
the sword lights up in a warm, clear light.
Oh.
Please tell me he doesn't hear voices.
He does hear voices. He hears Thala going, "Please don't hear voices."
Yeah. Can only Shiggy hear the song coming from the sword?
What song? Yes, only see.
Okay, alright.
So I'm the only one who can hear it?
You're
Yeah.
the only one who can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you keeping it?
Yeah, I'll hang on to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Experienced role player, are you?
Well, it's my weapon.
Yeah, no. Just something that I've learned over the years with Martin. If it sings, if it talks, if it glows, if it does things, it could be smarter than you are.
If it's not a standard weapon, panic.
Yeah,
Everybody's smarter than I am, so that's fine.
yeah. It just that usually if it's smarter than you are, it can sometimes drive you to its purposes, which may not be all rainbows and unicorns.
And when you see Zal enter the room, you see what appears to be a fiend overlaid on top of Zal's image as Zal walks in.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So we're getting that effect again.
And when you see Emil, you see what appears to be a great wolf, werewolf overlaid over his image.
Oh, is that what Shiggy sees?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well, it looks like it might be a good sword. It tells you what people really are.
I kind of look at Shiggy, not Shiggy, no, at Shiggy. Did you say Shiggy was the one that had the
Yep.
wolf?
Oh
Have the
no,
sword.
Emil has the wolf overlay, but only
Oh,
Shiggy
yeah.
can see it.
Yeah, Shiggy's
Yeah.
the only one who knows.
Oh, right, yeah, right. But Zal's
You
right.
would see the
Either
new
way,
glowy
Zal's
sword.
right.
Actually, seeing the new glowy sword, does Shiggy tell us that the sword sings?
No, but you see Shiggy tapping his foot.
Can I ask him if I can examine his sword briefly? I don't want it, I just want to look closer at it.
Sure.
I will take the sword and have a look at the hilt and the hand. and the-
Okay, give me a wisdom. Make it a charisma saving throw.
What do I add to that?
You add +6.
18 plus 6 is 24?
You get a voice shouting in your head, "Let me go."
I apologise. I hand the sword back to Shiggy.
And then Shiggy gets a nice comforting humming in his ear again.
I believe you've been claimed, I tell Shiggy.
Awesome.
I believe this is a magic sword. My experience with magic swords have been you should be very careful with them. I say very solemnly and seriously, hoping that something gets through to Shiggy.
Cool. I'm very happy to have one used as a toy.
Good thing you didn't take it, Imni. It'll literally be Shiggy's sword to bear.
Okay.
Looking at the blade, you see it have symbols of the moon and basically hope from your childhood up the blade.
No one else can see that though?
No.
Okay. Just looks like a regular glowy blade to us.
Well, all you see is the blade glow. He gets to see the symbols.
Yep.
And what would you like your blade to be called? Because it picks its name based on its wielder.
Because it's now about to be your master.
Neville.
This is a good name.
Okay. So Neville is happy with his name. And I think that might be a good point to finish tonight with the fact that Shiggy now has Neville to keep him company.
I just want to note for purposes of journals and things like that, that I will check over all the bodies, see if I can find any identifying marks, make any sketches where I can of any identifying things like robes or belt buckles. I would like to check that belt pouch.
It has gemstones in it.
I will keep those if nobody else notices I've got them.
And a potion.
I will keep that too if nobody else notices I've got them. An elf's got to get a living somehow.
Just making note of where you are.
Yep. Can you
So
note that I've got the gemstones?
that's what I just noted down. Okay, so yes, we will pick it up again in 2 weeks'
Yep.
time. If you'd like to stay on after I do the end credity thing.
I just was hoping to quick check with Imni that she didn't want any of the loot,
Okay,
because we hadn't asked her.
all good. You can ask her now.
Imni, do you want any of the loot?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just thought I'd check, because it is a party,
Okay.
so it's worth
Yeah.
asking you, even if we know you're going to say no.
So I'll
Yeah. All good.
So I'll put it under end credits, and then we can talk freely.
Yep.
Okay, I'm probably going to head off.
You're going to head off because you've had a toddler to take care of.
Yeah, and he wakes up a lot. He gets up at 5 a.m.
As all good toddlers do. Yay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
Yeah.
And,
Still there.
There for a few more years.
this is my second time round. So
Yeah. Yeah, you'd done your job. You thought you finished it. Now you
I
get
thought
to do it
I'd
again.
finished all this, but here I am again. Never mind.
I'll stay on for a little bit.
Grandchildren. Ugh.
I'm going to
Anyway.
head off myself as well.
Yep.
But thanks very much, everyone. Martin, thank you. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, was your daughter alright? Just the way
No, she twisted her ankle. So we just boxed it up and just been watching TV most of the night.
Is that where you say you might have to come off?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
Good night.
Easy.
Hopefully this is right.
Thanks. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.